What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Collectors Enabled. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I am super excited to have John back. John, my man, where have you been? You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Had some family stuff. Had to take a
Yeah.
couple weeks off. So kind of getting back to normalcy again. Got to get caught back up. So you'll have to catch me up on a lot of stuff. So I know you've been busy. So I've been kind of out of the loop. So you're going to have to catch me up. And so.
Dude, I'm just real glad that you're back. I'm glad you're doing okay. And I see that you have a new dinosaur, something reptilian behind your
Yes,
right
sir.
shoulder there. Tell me
Yeah.
about that.
Well, I'd gotten the Prime 1 Godzilla bust in probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, but I just unboxed it just the other day, and it's quite the piece. I haven't got it lit up yet. I actually need somebody to help me because there's a cord in the middle that connects, because of how the bottom base lights up and then the top lights up the mouth and the back does. Um, so I'm going to need to recruit somebody to come help me mess with the wires because I couldn't get it to light up. So I'm hoping I don't have a faulty
Oh
base because I've
no.
heard of a few people have that issue. But
So, so you had to provide your own cord with that,
yeah,
right?
I thought that was odd. It's kind of irritating as much money as we spend with these companies
Right,
that you
right.
have to provide your own cord. And it was a C cord, which was different. But so I'm just going to have to go to Walmart or somewhere and pick one up. And
And
so.
it's not USB. It's not like the
Mm-mm.
generic statue
No,
cord.
no, that's what I was shocked about. It's like a C cord that goes into your cell phone, the newer, Samsung phone, Android phones. It's kind of odd, and
Ah,
it's just on the base of the very bottom. So this
okay.
first one I got on, I'm like, wait a sec. I'm like, is there batteries? I was like, I thought we got past batteries, because I was like, did
Right.
I miss the cord and couldn't find it? And then I read the instructions, and of course, not provided. So. It's just one
Um,
more thing.
that you're gonna have to tell me more about that. I wanna learn more about that. That just looks so good. But before
Dude,
we do,
it does. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say hello to our small but mighty crew here. So we got Lane. Lane said that someone may build it, but I have come first. And Lane, you are always number one. And we got Josh McCoy. Thanks for joining us. By the way, Mike, did you get the Doctor Strange bus? No, we'll talk about that though. We'll talk about it. We got you who enjoyed some Star Wars Celebration. We got Dennis Perez. You will be enabled. Chris Crow, what's up? And then Donald Bryan, who needs to come on the show pretty soon. Good evening, gentlemen. Watching while at work. That's the best way to work. So we have someone behind the scenes who's going to join us tonight, and I am super excited that he's here. We have Kevin H, who a lot of us know. He does prop building, one-to-one stuff, a lot of Star Wars stuff, but is just in general really good guy, really helpful. And I think I've been talking to Kevin H on and off since I started getting into the mainstream collecting and Star Wars and stuff like that. And he's always been extremely helpful and willing to share information, and especially in a world and in general, mainstream collecting with Prime 1, XM statues and stuff like that, everything's pretty much out in the open. But with Star Wars and prop building and, maybe studio scale stuff, there's a lot of hush hush and, keep it secret mentality. And I get it, but I want these awesome one-to-ones. And right now, your only option is go to Sideshow, maybe go to Ruby's, or spend an exorbitant amount of money. But there are awesome guys like Kevin out there who build this stuff, know the people, are willing to share, and are just down to earth and try to debunk the myths of studio scale and one-to-one prop building. And you may not collect props, or you may have no idea or no interest, but maybe this is something that a lot of people can benefit from, or maybe it's something that we can open a door and introduce you to. So I want to go ahead and bring Kevin on, and we're going to spend probably the next hour or so just kind of learning more about what Kevin collects and what he does. And without further ado, let's bring him on. What's up, Kevin?
Hey guys, good to see y'all.
Yeah, how's it going?
Oh, LTD in it, living the dream, going pretty good.
So, hopefully everything that I said in the introduction was somewhat true, right?
Yeah, I hope I can live up to that good guy reputation. But, and I think I have to cut this short. I can't tell you guys anything. Remember, we're a secret society who builds life sizes, so I can't give you anything.
Damn it.
Sorry.
All right, well, we're just gonna end the show right there. Let's go back
good.
to talking about the Godzilla bust. No, just kidding. So Kevin, thank you for joining us first and foremost. And I'd like to, you've been collecting for how long now?
Oh boy. Gosh, I started my job at Toys R Us like my senior year, like the mid 90s, right when the wave Power of the Force figures came out. So I was the guy in the storeroom who was memorizing the box numbers and pulling a set aside for me every time. So if the collectors, if you guys didn't get to them in the mid 90s, I'm sorry, that it was so me stealing them. Yeah, and then the special editions, all that kicked off, and we rolled into episode 1. And at that time, it was about 99, 2000, and I met the 501st group and started trooping with those guys in the early 2000s, and it just started steamrolling from basically building my first TK armor to a lot of the stuff you see behind me. But yeah, collect a lot of things, not just Star Wars. I'm into, the Transformers, got the entire Hush line, got the Arkham line, love a lot of DC, got a ton of X-Men. We can talk later, Mike. And then, of course, I love He-Man. So I've got a ton of the Sideshow stuff from He-Man and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I've got quite the spread, but in here, it's only Star Wars.
Okay. So how many rooms do you have to display?
My wife allows this room. This is my study, which I'm on filters during business calls. We don't need to explain that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm in the whole B2B world. They don't know about this. So
right.
But I have a game room upstairs. So I've got the Star Wars pinball machine, and those are where some of my Transformers are at. And then I've got a media room that I kind of house the rest of the collection.
God, it's so awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I feel like my wife's the same way. She's like, you can have this one room, but then I also have like an office across, and I'm about to turn that office into a second nursery. And so I'm going to take the room that's adjacent to my room that we're in right now, and I'm going to make that the second office and make it the YouTube rooms. We're just expanding a little bit, but so tell me, so you have quite a bit of interest, and I didn't realize that you did Hush and X-Men and all that stuff. Are you still pretty active in collecting those different lines?
Yes, but I'm trying to pull myself away. I found myself just, since I've been collecting, honestly, with the statue thing, I think it was episode 3. I was at Celebration and I saw my first sideshow of that Grievous. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've been collecting action figures. I got to move to statues. This is the way to go. I've been collecting all kinds of statues since then. And now it's kind of like, okay, I'm probably running into the same problem everyone else is. It's a space issue. Yeah. So it's like, now what do I focus in? Can I clean it up? And I'm all about now, how can I present it better? So I'm probably going to move away from a lot of the lines and really just focus on Star Wars in the near future.
Yeah. So I have a question. Yeah. Do you do 1/6 as well? Very much of it?
Yes. I think I'm right with Mike. I have probably every single Hot Toy and Sideshow that came out. Now, I liquidated about 80 to 90 of them to pay for some other things behind me. But yeah, I still order every one. Those Celebration exclusives, ordered them.
I'm right there with you. And, I just I had something come up that we talked about before the show that we'll talk about, and I had to pay for it. I'm like, oh, I need to sell some stuff really quick. And so first thing I go to is the Hot Toys. I'm like, well, what can I live without now? And I'll just post them up. And usually within minutes, either they're sold or I have interest and, gone. But I'm the same as you, where all these new ones are coming out, like the Darth Maul, we'll pull these up in a second, but I just buy them because they're awesome.
Yeah.
What's
your favorite 1/6 Star Wars? Do you have one off the top of your head?
1/6. Oh gosh, I'm digging so far on the Mando, just the fully chromed out Mando. I've got him right over here, but not gonna lie, that Ahsoka, I've been waiting so long for an Ahsoka, and now we've got flooded with NYC Sideshow and then the 1/6 Hot Toy. I go, finally, I've got some good Ahsokas to choose from. Yeah, I love the 1/6 Hot Toy Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I haven't opened that yet. I really need to open it. Let's see. So, Kevin, you're surrounded by a lot of life-size stuff. Do you want to start by talking about some of that, or do you have something else in mind?
No, we can dive right into it. If you know, I know, again, we've kind of talked about before on other chats and things like that. There's a huge price point on these things, and yes. I've been fortunate in my collection and building the stuff. I got to work alongside, you know, everyone knows like Tom Spina and stuff like that. I got to work with him and a number of others to do the Sideshow Fett. So we got to work on that. And that really helped me. I mean, there was a great artist by the name of Alex Alva, who was from the Dented Helmet. Some might know him as Spidey Fett. But he got commissioned, and Spina, you know, basically did the body and all that. And I really got to see that thing come alive. And it taught me how to start actually painting these things and how to actually produce my own, as opposed to going out and dropping $8 to $12 grand, depending on what those things are at.
They're at quite a bit now. And so, speaking of the life-size Fett, so you were actually one of the big reasons why I jumped on this versus trying to commission one or do something, because you basically gave me the green light and saying that, yep, Spina was involved on this, I was involved on this, and you know, it's, and I gotta say, I mean, the soft goods on this, the outfit, everything is freaking phenomenal. So what did you do to help out with this?
So I was lucky. I was the studio I kind of work out of on the weekends to do my own stuff. This is where I met Alex Alva, who had been primarily commissioned by Sideshow. Alex has also done the 1/4 premium format Jango Fett and the Empire Strikes Back Fett. So you see a lot of similarities between the paint job of the Empire Strikes Back Fett and, of course, this one. Well, that's because of Alex. And if you know anything about the guy, he's meticulous. This guy knows every dent, every mark, every scratch on Fett. And that's one thing I always laugh when I'm painting another Fett helmet for someone. You'll have that one mark, that one scratch that is identical to the photo. And you're like, oh my God, this is awesome. Nobody's ever going to know except you. And you're just like, that's what you live for. But yeah, so Alex was working on this. The chess pieces, you know, I started drawing in some of the dents and things like that. And then Alex was really kind of showing me how to use the airbrush and how really to put this together. And, you know, he was basically my Obi-Wan, man. He just, he mentored me the whole way through. So I got to see it from beginning to end. And it was one heck of a piece. I tell you, when we got to roll this out, Alex was also the one, if you've seen photos, that worked with a few others to provide Jeremy Bullock with his actual Boba Fett suit. He never got one for the movie. So the Dented Helmet came together with the Wookiee workshop, and they basically put this together and gave it to him when he came to Dallas. And it's the armor that he's worn, and it's still in his collection after, you know, of course, after he's passed.
Wow. Dude, that's amazing. That's incredible. What an awesome backstory. That's so we got started on the Boba Fett, and you're involved in that awesome mentorship. Where did you kind of go to after that?
Well, then it just spiraled out of control. You know, once you start down the Fett path and you start realizing what the possibilities are, then of course I ran into a group called the Astromechs R2 builders. So you can see my R2 back here. That was the next big challenge. I really wanted to start getting focused on doing my own R2D2 and really kind of, and I even like, you know, you get the electronics and stuff. I can move his head and all that for us. And I'm just using a PS3 nunchuck. So it's hidden, stuff like that. So this was a big pull. That thing behind me is 100% aluminum. The whole thing is.
Wow.
But you can make these you can make them out of wood. Eric Beeks, many of you might know him on the Hyperdrive and stuff like that. Yep. He's got a beautiful shop. He does a lot of the woodwork for this. Keep it affordable for yourselves. I will say if you go all aluminum, you're probably going to be about $9,000 to $10,000 in on the whole thing after said and done. And the problem with that is you got to wait. You got to work with these shops, and it takes a year or two to collect all the pieces. It really does.
Like, so when you're doing this, I think we talked about this a while ago, certain shops will do like certain parts at a time, and you have to get on runs and try to get all these pieces and then kind of piece them together.
Yep. So for everyone listening right now, here's a big secret. Go to the website commando8.com if you want to start building your aluminum R2D2, because that thing, I know the gentleman who runs it. I'm not sure if he wants me to call him out by name, so I'll leave it at that. But yes, he runs a great shop, and always has got pieces in rotation coming through. So if you're one of those who's like, hey, I want my R2 to be 250 pounds, I want a car to hit it and it hurts the car, that's the guy to go with.
So how much does that R2 weigh that's behind you?
It's about 250 pounds. Yep.
Oh, wow.
He's a big boy.
So it's solid aluminum, because I've seen them people build it with like a wooden inside kind of structure and then put the aluminum on the outside. This is 100%.
Yep. It's actually Commando 8's frame on the inside, so it's fully aluminum and all that. So to me, having that metal is just more authentic, if you will.
God, that is actually pretty beautiful. Yeah, I'm on the website right now. This looks awesome. Okay.
So how many like life-size pieces do you have so far?
Gosh, I've got the Bausch, the two behind me, the Trooper. Then upstairs, I've got a Stormtrooper, a Biker. I've got a TIE Fighter, Snow Trooper, and of course Vader. So what, 9, 10 of them?
So for your troopers, are you using stuff, or what did you do for your troopers?
So to do my first TK, at that time in the early 2000s, it was really ABS plastic that we would work in form fit and stuff like that. So it was vacuum form it. But now, like the one behind me, that's an RS Prop Master. So
okay, yeah. Yep.
At this point, some of the quality is so good it's like why I'm going to do it myself. This guy, and they're great.
And it's reasonable price for a full commission, and you supply the mannequin, and that's about it, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, exactly.
So Lane, Lane was asking, do you think it would be expensive to do a life-size Death Trooper specialist or Shore Trooper?
Well, it really depends on the kind of materials you go with. So a lot of the pieces I like to do, they're either like a resin or fiberglass, and that takes a set of, you got to cast and mold it and all that. That's a little bit harder nowadays. 3D printing. So I'm going to talk about 3D printing for a second, because so many people do it, and I don't want to trash on them, but there's really good 3D printers and there's really bad ones, and the really bad ones for some reason don't understand what they're bad at. The good ones, they get rid of all that texture, all the little rivets, if you will. They come out very smooth. They do a lot of the resin prints. Those who really, and I'll give props again to Eric Beeks, because I've done a lot of work with him. He goes over for like the Bondo and sands it down. You will never tell a 3D print that's good next to a regular prop that is resin or fiberglass or anything of that sort. And the cost is so much cheaper. I mean, they're printing full R2s at this point, and you're getting away with a couple $1,000s, and you got an R2. You're done. You're set, and you put it right next to mine, and you wouldn't tell the difference.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You're talking about fully 3D printed R2.
Correct. Now, not in one go. Of course, they do parts just like
right.
But yes, you can do a fully 3D, and there's a number of guys out on astromech.net who do just that.
Hold on, I'm going there too. Now, I know Eric really well. We talked about the Hollow Chess table a while ago, like when Regal Robot released their Hollow Chess set, and we talked about. He showed me one that he was selling and making, and really, really cool guy. Now, Matt was saying, does the Hollow Chess table count? Yeah, that definitely counts. Matt, do you have one, or actually, Kevin, do you have a Hollow Chess?
I do. So now I'm up to 10, and gosh, I hope my wife's not watching. It's all going to get me in so much trouble. Yeah, I got a Hollow Chess. Once again, the same company that I've been working with doing stuff. They were known originally as Blue Realm Studios. They did a series of Hollow Chess. They did beautiful pinstripe work, all that. And at that time, I was able to acquire mine. So it's a lot of fun.
Oh man, that's so cool. Well, when things are spread around 3 different rooms, you could have 10, 11 things, and it doesn't seem like that much, right?
No, man. That's the plan. That's why I moved into this new house. It was kind of like the extra room for the wives.
That's right. As long as her closet's really big and she gets a big kitchen, whatever she wants, that's.
Yep, exactly.
So, Kevin, you gave me a bunch of photos and stuff. Was there anything that you wanted me to pull up here or talk about, or?
So again, on this one, this was my first take at doing a Fett. So I just got that resin bucket. It cost me maybe a couple $100, and you just start going through. Now I use airbrush, and at first I didn't know anything about airbrush. I was intimidated like a lot of people, but airbrush is great. It puts the paint on very smooth, equal. It gives you a lot of control. You're not getting in there doing the detail work. The detail work is used with paint brushes and things of that. But to really give it a nice coat, use this airbrush. Well, I got fortunate, again, working out of the shop that Alex, who had just worked on the Sideshow Fett, all that, he had meticulously gone in. And if you can kind of see in these middle images, they're kind of yellow. They almost look like sticker pullouts or something like that. He actually vectorized every scratch on Fett's helmet. He took it right from the library, from Lucasfilm library, did all of it, vectorized it. And then we were able to print these pieces out and literally lay them on. You can see it maybe in that, in the second row in the far right. You start laying these all out, and then I can quickly spray it, chrome it, and I get that perfect dent. I get that perfect mark. And you just start, and again, this is what they do overseas. You send them a prototype, they basically kind of put in the stencils and things like that so that they can replicate it as close to the original artist's work. And this has just become revolutionary. So as you can see on that one table, we can crank out 3-4 buckets at one time just because we got those stencils, and we can just go right down and just knock them out. And every one of them looks almost identical.
And this is kind of, so there's a lot of people doing Fets, EFX, RS, custom makers. This is pretty much, everyone's pretty much doing it the same, right? Or no?
Yes and no. So I'll tip my hat to Sideshow. I think Sideshow, when the Fett came around, what Sideshow did is goes, hey, we're going to pull back from our artists, and we're going to go to the pros. And that's when they went out to the dented helmet. They went out to these guys who live and breathe. They can tell you everything that is different between the special edition Fett to the Empire Strikes Back Fett helmet. They're all different. All the buckets are different. That could be a whole segment in itself, and I won't go down that path. But it's insane. So they brought in these artists who love it, where the other studios, I think they're still leaning on their current talent, which, not to say their current talent is bad, but at the end of the day, why not go to these pros? Why not go to these guys who live and dream of this stuff, and just every day they are just looking over every possible photo?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And damn, this looks good. So I didn't even ask. Do you do this for like a hobby? Do you create for a living? What is this in your life?
So in my life, this is strictly a hobby. This is my actually Saturday and Sunday. I'm always out at the shop, usually about 10 o'clock in the morning till about 3-4 o'clock. It's all sci-fi fans, Star Wars fans. We just nerd out, and a lot of prop builders, and we just kind of work. And I learn the trade a little bit more. I hang out with some great guys, and regularly I'm in the world of marketing. I'm in the business kind of world, technology. So yeah, none of this really applies. So this is kind of like my outlet, my passion, if you will.
Sure. Now do you take commissions? Do you do that for fun, like on the weekends, or is this purely just for you and maybe family and friends?
I've done a little bit of commission work, but to be honest, I love it so much, and I'm probably going to get in trouble, and a lot of guys are going to hate me, but I've done a lot of these for free. For a lot of guys who are looking for it and stuff like that, because I just love doing it. So if I'm working on another Fett helmet and someone else wants one, I'm like, heck, I'll knock it out at the same time. I don't care. You pay for the paints or whatnot. Send me a pizza and we'll call it a day.
And he's not kidding, everybody, because I remember when we started talking about commissioning a life-size C-3PO, Kevin was like, you know what? I'll help you source the parts. We'll do the chroming, and then I'll make you like I forgot what you said you were going to make, and I'll just send it to you. And I was like, really? So he's not kidding. He does offer this. Yeah. I just never followed through. I need to follow through. That's really appreciated. Nice guy. We were right so far. So this Fett is sweet. I want to skip to. Okay, Can we talk about the Ark of the Covenant?
Yeah.
Love talking. So the photos you're seeing here is once again, once a year, we bring in like all the big prop makers throughout the country. I mean, we got guys from like the HasLab, guys who've actually worked, on ILM, stuff like that. And they come all in and they bring a lot of their own work. And it's just kind of like they kind of flex. So you get everything, up here you get the Cylon and you get a lot of Doctor Who and stuff like that. Well, one year, the big thing out of Blue Realm Studio was to build a life-size 1-to-1 Ark of the Covenant. And since then, they've actually built these out as kits. You can actually buy a full 1-to-1 kit from Blue Realm Studios. They still got a few of them out there. And you can, now it doesn't come gold. You've got to handle all that. But I will tell you, they got access to every photo on this thing from the movies. And it is the most accurate Ark of the Covenant out there. And what inspired me was where they sent it off. So they sent it off to this shop. They're over on the East Coast. I'd have to verify exactly where, but these guys, they do this for a living. This is their big bread and butter. I heard that they used to do the Victoria's Secret Angels thing where they come out with the wings and stuff. They did all the gold plating on those wings and stuff. I'm not sure the models were there with them when they were doing that, but it's a sweet gig. But anyway, they do beautiful work here. And they actually did C3PO for George Lucas's collection. In George Lucas's personal collection, he has a C3PO that was done, not in the movies, but it was done. And these guys actually did the gold plating. So of course, when I saw how this Ark of the Covenant came out, I was blown away, had to do this, had to go through and get my C3PO and have it gold plated just like this.
Yeah, so cool. So this is a 1-to-1 kit, get the gold plating done, and then put it all together, and there you go.
Done. Yeah. And a lot of it comes pretty much assembled. So it's not a hard kit to put together by any stretch. You don't have to be this professional model builder or whatnot to be able to pull this off. And I'll be careful on this, but I can tell you there is one very famous composer right now in Hollywood who has a huge infatuation with Indiana Jones and commissioned this same studio to turn the Ark and the Covenant into a bar. And how it works is, and I'll send you the video after this, Mike, but how it works is it sits on top of the crate that the Ark of the Covenant was in. That's where we basically have dry ice being pumped up into the Ark of the Covenant, and we put hydraulics on it. So when you turn it on by using the idle thing that he catches, that Indiana Jones gets at the end. Well, you turn that, when you turn it, you start hearing the music, it starts glowing underneath it. The hydraulics then kick in after the dry ice smoke has built into the Ark, and it lifts it up into the air. Smoke pulls out, and as it lifts up, a bar appears. And this guy now serves drinks through the Ark of the Covenant. So I want to be careful about calling him out by name, but I'll send you the video. You can post it, have some fun. But it's stuff like this. I mean, you just run into people who are passionate, and then it just grows, and you're like, why? I'm just some guy, out of nowhere. And now I'm starting to work on projects like this. It's ridiculous.
I gotta ask the Bumblebee right there. That is awesome. So
funny story about this one is the gentleman, and I know it's hard to see in this shot, but he's very well-known lawyer here in the Dallas Metroplex area. And on the side, he is just this avid prop builder. He has a Bumblebee and an Optimus Prime. And I mean, he basically builds them, obviously not to scale to the things, but to scale to one another. And for fun, he goes to a lot of the major cons, wins the competition. I go, is that paying for it? He goes, no, it's just a couple $100, but it's bragging rights. And he does it all himself. I'm just floored. This guy has no training. Like I said, he's a lawyer, and this is what he does on the side.
I mean, that's amazing. It just goes to show that you can really do anything as your main career, and then just whether it's collecting or prop building or just whatever, it's all about the passion for it. Good point.
There's nothing sacrilegious about bourbon. We'll leave it at that.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Let me see. Anything else I'm missing? What is that? Is that a T800 or is that a C3PO?
No, that's your Terminator back there. So again, you see the craziest stuff. These photos were only taken from just 1 year. Like I said, I can send you the photos through each year, the stuff that they bring. It's off the charts. Stuff that you just never see.
Oh, okay. You know what? Let's talk about this because this is something. So just recently, obviously, Sideshow released their 1-to-1 scale C3PO and 8,500 plus tax plus shipping. Looks nice. You know, some voice sounds, light up eyes, articulating arms. You know, very simple. Obviously, just put it together. 1, 2, 3, done. No one is gonna not identify him as C3PO. If someone, you know, obviously if anybody here or if your family walked in and, you know, saw that, oh, look, there's C3PO, so it looks nice. But for people like us who maybe want something that's a little bit better or just a little bit more special, tell me about this, because this is where I want to go. And I mean, this just looks beautiful. And obviously he's standing right over your shoulder there.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, to me, Star Wars is R2-D2 C3PO. That is you have to have at some level those two in your collection if you're a Star Wars fan. Yep. And to me, C3PO was a little bit of that holy grail just because not a lot of people are able to do him and, you know, build him right. So there's a number of places first and foremost. So Facebook, there's a C3PO builders group. Go join it. You will find some of the greatest talent. But something like this, mine was all fiberglass. TK409, little hard to work with, as Mike, you may, you can tell everyone, but he's not always the most responsive. But when you get him sending you the stuff, it's perfect. His molds are perfect. He does everything in fiberglass and it's gorgeous. So that was my goal here was I went out, I got all these fiberglass parts. I didn't personally do this one. This one was one I kind of just was grabbing parts from other people. And, you know, some of I've got some brass pieces and things like that. But at the end of the day, I gold plated it all. So it doesn't really matter. But I kept a closer piece just so you guys could see. So inside of this piece, you can see where the fiberglass is and all that and where they stopped the gold plating. But then when you see that shine, I mean, look, you're going to spend some good money, right? So why not get the best? And when I look at something like Sideshow, and I think Sideshow is great, but doing something like this to get all those parts cost me around the area of about $2,000. That wasn't one hit. That was collecting over a year. So you spread out $2,000, less than $200 a month. And then on top of that, the gold plating, that's the big drop. That costs you about $3,000 for something of this nature. But just like that, $5,000, you have the C3PO right behind me, and you have still $3,500 in your pocket as opposed to going with Sideshows. Not saying I don't want to diss on Sideshows, but I'm just kind of like, if you're going to spend money, spend it smart.
Yeah, and so this, you know, so I've built lots of RS basically dressed mannequins. And, you know, with stormtroopers, we have the chest armor, which basically is kind of like a vest. You have different components of the arm, the gloves, obviously the helmet, and then like thigh armor, shin armor, the boots. And it's pretty easy to dress somebody, or to dress a stormtrooper. I'm assuming, and you can tell me, is it that easy to kind of dress this C3PO? And what kind of mannequin are you using underneath? Or is it just some kind of like, it looks like PVC piping or something like that?
So, you know, you can do your C3PO two different ways. You can do it, build it so, hey, you can wear it, you can go cosplay, which a lot of people do. Or B, just do it to display. So by doing just a display, if you look at, for instance, his hands, I don't know, there's a good shot here, but those are solid pieces. I can't stick my hand in there and wear his hands. So that's solid fiberglass right there. And so are the feet. The feet are solid as well. So I go, hey, I just want a statue. I don't plan on cosplaying or anything like this. And then once again, through the C3PO builders, It's simple plan out there to go out to your Lowe's, Home Depot, any hardware store, and just get PVC piping. This is built to a 5'9" height, which is Anthony Daniels' height. And it actually, with the hands too, I made ends so that they could clip right into the PVC piping and just snap right into place. And boom, easy to put together, easy to take apart, no problem. And I didn't have to drop a couple $100 on a mannequin. So again, spend smart.
Yeah. Your audio's off, Mike.
There you go. Sorry. Spend smart and you can get more stuff.
That's exactly right. We were just mentioning, I mean, if you drop about 5,000, if you did 3D printing, you probably end up getting these parts for maybe around $1,000. And if you have the right 3D printer, it's going to look beautiful in the second you gold plate it. Who cares what it's made out of? So if you did that, then you're dropping maybe $4,000. You have another $4,500 in your bank account as opposed to going to Sideshow. And then you run over to Regal Robot, like we talked about earlier, and you buy that Chewbacca. You know, there you go. It's a bargain now. I'm printing money for people right now. I am giving you guys money.
Yeah. Or you get that Tusken. I mean, that Tusken looks awesome.
Yeah.
So if they 3D printed that, it probably weighs a little bit less too, right?
Without a doubt. 3D printing is definitely going to come out a lot lighter than your fiberglass. And again, one of my buddies right now is in the middle of 3D printing his own. And once you sand that thing, and like I said, you coat it, no one is ever going to be able to tell the difference.
That's not a bad idea. We need to talk more about that. I'm on TK409's website right now, and I'm going to have to hit him up again. But I wouldn't be opposed to 3D printing either, because I mean, I 3D print every single day at work. And if you have, like you said, a very nice quality 3D printer, it comes out beautiful. I mean, so I never tried gold plating my 3D printed stuff, but so I guess the plating process, it doesn't really look any different on the 3D printed like resin versus the fiberglass?
Correct. And I know this for a fact because I've worked with some guys who have done recently Mando armor, and they did 3D printing, sent it to the same shop, chromed it. I kid you not, you just cannot tell that the way the liquid process that they do, it fills everything and it's just a smooth coat. And really this stuff, not that I'm going to try too hard, but it's not going to chip or anything. This is, it's right up there with, heck, it's even better than automotive stuff like that. So
you're saying that if you have young kids and they come in with their toys and whatever, and they're smashing around on C-3PO's legs, well, C-3PO is always battle damaged, right? So it probably wouldn't hurt too bad.
Everything in Star Wars is battle damage. That's the best thing about being a prop maker. It doesn't matter how horrible you do. You go, that was just battle damage right there. It's all weather.
I don't know if it was after the show last week or during, but we were talking about the Regal Robot life-size Chewie, and I thought they had dropped their price, but what I didn't realize is that it was just the version without the bowcaster, and the bowcaster is like $3,000 or whatever. And I think it was Payne was telling me, it's like, Mike, you have this life-size Chewbacca, and your kids go in there, and they start, they're 3 feet tall or less, and they're just pulling the hair out of his legs, and now you have a Chewie that looks like he went to the vet and had an operation. Any thoughts on that?
I would cry.
I
couldn't handle it. Yeah. So I've been fortunate. I've had daughters who they aren't as interested. So growing up and watching them, they've never really come into the collection. But yes, I have several friends, even some who are probably watching right now, who have boys and stuff like that. And yeah, that's you may not want to spend that money till they're maybe in high school.
Yeah, or out of the house, right?
Yeah, cheers.
Gosh, yeah. I was just thinking, I'm like, that's very, very true. Like what he does now is he'll come in, and I have quarter scale statues on the first level of like the my wall behind me, and I have the MYC Captain Rex, and I have the diorama base, so you have the 3 different helmets on the poles or on the weapons, just like the scene from the Clone Wars. And his favorite thing to do is to go in there and grab like the 332nd helmet and like look at it, and then he'll like slam it back down on, and then he'll grab I forgot, it was Echo or one of them, and grab it. I was like, So probably a good reason to get some plexiglass up around that or something, some acrylic. Man, this is really, really cool. Okay, I got a question. So sourcing the components, whether 3D printed or fiberglass, in theory seems pretty straightforward. The C3PO Builders Club, TK409, other custom builders. What about the electronics and the eyes? Is that something that, do you buy the head as like a kit, or is there just like LEDs that are custom made for C3PO?
So for those C3PO eyes, that was actually brass kit that another electrician had set up and stuff like that. R2D2, I worked on all the electronics with a friend of mine. We went through. Matter of fact, his whole motherboard is built off of a just a cutting board that I got at Walmart. So drilled all my parts in this stuff. But I say this, and then once again, here, you guys want another secret. If you haven't stumbled across it, it's called therpf.com.
Yeah.
These are the big guys. These guys do all the props across the line, not just Star Wars, but these are the guys that I'm like, hey, I don't have an expertise in electronics or something of that nature. Who has already figured it out? Who's already got the kit wired up or something that I can just install? That is, I'm probably on the RPF every day, just reading things, checking things out. Same thing with R2D2. If you're out at astromech.net, I mean, you're constantly looking at what other guys have figured out. I mean, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't get extra points for just doing it all by yourself. That's why these communities are built. And there's guys out there who are constantly trying to help you along the way. So ask questions. Everyone wants to help. Everyone kind of flexes a little bit like that by providing help. So yeah, these are the places you want to go to get these pieces to make it right.
Okay. Yeah, I just shared them in the chat there.
Yep.
John, do you have any other questions about C3PO or anything on top of your mind?
No,
right now?
I'm just curious as far as, is there something right now you're working on or something down the pipeline that you would like to do in the future?
So here's my guilty shame. So I've got like 4 or 5 projects always going. So
Okay.
I'm doing a completely one-to-one R2 again,
Okay.
but this time, I'm doing this powder coating. So I'm actually doing the process of powder coating, which the other one behind me is automotive paint. The powder coat won't scratch at all. So this is going to be my gorgeous ceremony R2, everything shiny, beautiful, going to have all the bells and whistles. I'm almost done with that. On top of that,
Wow.
I've got a kit. I've got a number of parts for Mando. So I'm working on getting those prepped, ready to go. I'm going to send those out to get gold, to chrome plated it. And then I'm working on another enabler in the group, Shane. I'm working on his Star Destroyer right now, his Randy Cooper Star Destroyer. So It's coming along, Shane.
Wow.
You're going to have it by July. I promise, buddy. I'm working on that as well. So yeah, I've got a couple projects, and of course, there's always some friends who hit me up with some things from time to time. But those are the big ones. I'm really looking forward to having a Mando. I think I'm excited about that piece.
Now, did I hear right? I had somebody message me the other day that Sideshow's going to do a one-to-one Mando. Have we heard that?
Ooh, that's good. That's a good question.
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, of course,
I didn't know if I missed something or what, but so I didn't know if Sideshow's going all in on one-to-one now. I don't know.
So I'm actually curious about that too. I've seen pictures. Now, Kevin, you didn't go to Celebration. I didn't go to Celebration. John, you didn't go to Celebration. No. But did you get to see pictures of the one-to-one Mando that people posted, Kevin, from Celebration? Oh, sorry, the bust.
I've seen the bust. Yeah.
Now it looks like they chromed that from the pictures, or am I wrong?
It looks pretty good from the pictures I've seen. I'm liking what I see. It's definitely tempting. It's going to be one of those. I do go to a couple of cons. I know Sideshow is going to be at a few here coming up. So I will hopefully get a chance to see that in person and make the final judgment. But I do think they're chrome. And, if it's any indication based on if they've taken some notes from Hot Toys or whatnot, but it's looking good. I think that's a piece worth looking at, worth buying, as opposed to doing yourself.
Yeah, I was actually surprised based on the pictures that the people posted. I know it was behind some kind of acrylic or glass or something, so I couldn't tell if it was, a dull matted and was shiny because of the reflection. But I was surprised at how good that looked. So I'm curious to see more. Now, you're gonna make you're making Beskar Mando. You're not going to make pre-Beskar Mando.
No, it's all Beskar. I'm going
okay.
shiny on this guy.
Yeah, he's gonna look good. He's gonna look real good. Now you also because okay, so you're working on the Randy Cooper Star Destroyer. You dabble in studio scale and models and stuff too.
Yeah, like I said, it was just a spiral. Once I worked on Fett, then it was like, what else can I get my hands on? And the next thing, of course, I'm huge with. My friends are all big with. It was the vehicles of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Just love those things. Obviously, those can't be 1-to-1. Though I've seen actually the Biker Scout, the bike there done 1-to-1. That's pretty cool. But no, so Randy Cooper stuff, nice end models that you can see with the Y-wing, the Slave One there back there. All of them they're all yeah. You got the Randy Cooper, you got the nice end model. That, by the way, that Slave One killed me. That thing came in 10 million parts. Everything had to be clean. It was all pulled. Not that it was a bad pull. I mean, there's some great stuff, but that was hundreds of photos and many meticulous hours just trying to find where one little piece might go.
Yeah.
No instructions or anything. You need to figure this. This isn't a D'Agostini Falcon or something like that where you do 100 steps or so and you're done. No, that was a beast, but that is one of my prouder pieces that I've got mounted on my wall. I've got a mirror because the engine lights behind it all kick on. So it's I love that piece. And of course there's the Star Destroyer that I'm also working another one there. So it's good stuff. Randy Cooper stuff is wonderful. Takes some work. You can see the Tana 4 there. A buddy of mine was doing that. He got it to that middle stage and he's like, hey, Kevin, can you come in and give it some paint effect? And the bottom one was my influence and kind of getting in there and really giving it that more weathered look that you see more in the movie.
Yep. Yeah, and that Optimus is en route to Tennessee.
Right, I are on the left there. Actually, is the one you're kind of looking at, and this is just again.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah, we already talked about it yesterday, but case in point is I built those stands. I started going, okay, well now I want to get into woodwork and
no way
play my collection. And again, I'm fortunate. I know someone with a CNC router. So I can build it, I can design it, I can cut it. And then I just go and get the acrylic casing for it made, customized, and just put it right over and boom, set, ready to go.
Yeah, crap, that looks so good. That looks so good. Now it's part of your gaming room there. Is it like an arcade room where you have those?
Yeah, we got the foosball and pinball machine, and that's a little bit older of a photo. We've got now the real life-size arcade thing because I've got to go retro back to my 80s.
Oh, that's so sweet. Now, yeah, these look amazing, and a lot of so I have a Sandcrawler, and it was built by Chris from Rogue One 6. I think he does a fantastic job. He also built me a Red 5, which is it's probably can't see it, but it's above my my Ben Huckabee Vader helmet. And then he also just posted about a ESB ATST that he finished, and he's actually sending that to me pretty soon. So I know that a lot of work goes into these things. So, I mean, for example, the Sandcrawler is pretty sizable, and I'm guessing this one's about the same. It's probably like 20 inches by about 12 or 13 inches high. And how many weekends does that take you to build, or how long does that take?
So that one I was for a buddy of mine, Eric Beeks again. He went out, nice. he got the kit from Randy Cooper. That one, when I got going on it, to clean these things up, that's probably the hardest part. It's almost like before you paint a room, you got to tape it all off. It's the long, drawn out process of doing all that. And then once you get the roller going, it's simple. But the sand, all that and stuff, I would say this was about a 6 to 7 weekend project. So, but once I got into the painting phase, and I did it each phase at a time, and kind of did section by section, and then I went in and I weathered it all together after I kind of assembled it to kind of get that uniform look over the whole thing. So it was I love this piece. Matter of fact, I might reach out to Randy and get my own and build that up, because I was sad to see it go. I even put it in my collection, took a lot of photos before I gave it to Eric, just because I was like, it really is my baby. But no, you can have it, Eric.
Now, did you do any like light ups or LEDs in the Sandcrawler?
I did not. That was
Okay.
an option we discussed with Eric. Kind of, do you want it? Do you not want it? There's ways, with magnets and things like that. You can have sections that pop off, easy to put in your own LED lighting, that sort of thing. So,
Sure.
I will probably light mine just because I'm a perfectionist like that. But Eric still came out great. I love it.
Oh, yeah, no, this looks amazing. But I think for your own, because mine lights up like the little door, where they come out of, and the little where the ladder comes down and the ramp, and then of course up on the top. All of that is lit up LED, and when you turn this thing on, oh man, the only thing I need is like some kind of like diorama base to really get into the feel of Tatooine. But I don't blame you for wanting to make another. Now, Randy Cooper's name's coming up quite a bit. Are there any other like kits that you source, or pretty much that's a go-to?
That's a go-to. The Y-Wing there is a nice end model. So they only they did how, don't quote me on this, but I thought there was like 50 or 60. It was a small run of these kits, and it was real hard. And I've been looking for this thing for years. And again, I joined Facebook's Y-Wing builders group, and all of a sudden, bam, it just popped up. One guy was selling the kit. He goes, "Hey, I don't have time to get to this. I don't have time to build it." Got it at a steal. Same price, probably what he paid for to get it, and brought it in. And I got this thing painted within probably 2-3 weekends tops. It didn't take a lot of cleanup work on this one. It's gorgeous. It's one of my favorite pieces. Hard to see, but it's back there underneath the big painting type thing. But I love that piece. It's right up there. I'm also a huge fan of the D'Agostini Falcon. I love that thing. I built it. I painted it myself. It is hands down one of the pieces I will never move out of my collection. And I think the D'Agostini, if they're painted right, are far better than Master Replica. And you know what those things are going for now, price-wise. So go get yourself a D'Agostini and commission someone to paint it. Save yourself thousands.
Now, I'm glad you brought that up because, let's say most of us or some of us here, like myself, either one, don't have time, or two, don't have artistic skills, but you have maybe money and you have obviously the desire. If you pick up these kits, obviously it's with shipping now and all the craziness, it's nicer to have someone who's local who can be your commissioner. But do you have, and you don't have to name them, but do you have some recommendations of potential commissioners that people could reach out to?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, anyone can, just PM me on Facebook, but I can give out a name of a lot of painters. If I don't have a lot going on my plate, and I see that Shane's joined us. So Shane, I'm not taking new projects. I'm getting that Star Destroyer done for you.
Wait, hold on. That Shane?
That Shane is who I'm working on.
Okay, hold on.
Destroyer.
Okay, hold on, Kevin. So you don't want to ship to Canada. Just whatever Shane paid you, I'll pay you more, and just ship it to Tennessee, and just put Shane on for next year or something. I'm serious. Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, Shane's been a good sport. He followed me the whole time as I was working on the other Star Destroyer, and I was kind of telling him the steps, and I made a lot of mistakes with my first one. His is going to be perfect, and we've already worked on the shipping stuff. And I told him, heck, if I have to, I'll drive it up to Canada myself to make sure it gets there in one piece. So we'll get it done, and maybe Shane can throw some photos on the Enablers group here in a couple of months.
Oh, that's amazing! I can't wait to see how that comes out. That's sweet. Now that's is that like 4 feet long? The studio scale, 3 feet?
Yeah, it's a good. I'm looking over at it right now. It's a good about 4 feet or so. It's a big boy. This is it's a statement when it's in a room. And I basically installed a glass shelf that I have it elevated up on my wall. Don't worry, it's mounted very well into it. It's not moving. You can hang off of it, but you can see under it and you can see on top of it. And I've done a lighting system so you can just see it all lit up. And I love it. It's a great piece.
Amazing. Hey, we're gonna we got someone backstage here. We're gonna bring on it's about 10 o'clock now, so we've been going for about an hour. So thank you everyone for hanging out. And for those of you who are live now, I think there's maybe 15, 16 of us or so, and it keeps going up and down. If you have any questions for Kevin, let us know. So far, this has been one of the most interesting shows I think that we've done. Granted, we only done like 7, but all of this stuff, it just amazes me that okay, we see like, big studios like Prime One, XM, even NYC do really beautiful statue work, but quarter scale, third scale, sixth scale. It's amazing that people can do this over a couple of weekends or 6-7 weekends, and you have a full size, beautiful prop that could have been in the movies. I mean, that the Ark of the Covenant, man. If I was an Indiana Jones collector and turned it into a bar, I mean, that's incredible. But if anyone has, I agree with Shane. If anyone has any questions for Kevin, let us know. What I want to do is, it's 10 o'clock, and at 10 o'clock we have the hour of Payne, and we're going to start transitioning. Because we do everything here, and I still want to hear what Kevin has to say. And Kevin collects as well as builds. So let's bring Payne on, and let's see what Payne's been up to for a minute. What's up, man?
What's up? Hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for joining. So, Payne, you've been kind of backstage for a little bit, listening to the prop building and all the stuff.
I just got here, man. My Tuesdays are pretty tight schedule, so I only heard a little bit. I heard about the bar and the Ark of the Covenant, and I'm like, okay, I'm down.
That's all you need to hear.
That's pretty much it, that and some tiki torches, and yeah. But yeah, this shit looks dope, man. Oh, he's gonna make me. I'm gonna make a bumblebee for me.
And that's I know that you're not a Star Wars collector, not yet. But I know that obviously you like Transformers and Hot Girls, and I
do like hot girls. I do like hot girls. Just saying.
We all like yeah. I can't bring you down for that. But this is now. If someone made you a human scale Transformer that you could fit in your room, would you do it?
My room? I'll put it in the fucking driveway, man. Basically tell all my neighbors to fuck off, mind their own fucking business. That'd be fucking awesome.
Now, hang on a second. Hang on a second, because would you guys? Let me see something here. We do have a Mark 44 coming at some point, right? Hang on a second. Life size, or am I wrong? You guys know what I'm talking about?
You got some fan questions to ask for Kevin, bro.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do this.
Or viewer questions, I mean.
Okay, let's do that while I goof around. All right, so Matt Regis, what has been your most rewarding build to date, either from a technical difficulty perspective or simply one that has brought you the most joy once completed? That's a great question.
Oh man, tough question, Matt. Tough question. Golly, I probably have to go with my R2. Love that character since day one. Have been able to do the full animatronics on it, moving it around. I love going to conventions with it. Kids get a big thrill out of it, leading fans in. It's such a statement, that piece, and it's so much bigger than you expect the R2 to be in life size. And hands down, R2 has always been the most rewarding. Love it. And just what I learned from the electronic standpoint is something I've learned the Arduino system, and I've learned how to work with servos and stuff. So I'm like,
cool.
It's been rewarding. It's helped me become a better prop builder.
Now, what about
everything can be controlled through Raspberry Pi?
Correct.
Nice. That's awesome, bro. Yeah. That's really cool.
Would you say that was maybe your most difficult build?
Probably not the most difficult, just because I didn't necessarily do all the parts. Those were shopped, and I just had to paint them. So probably one of the more difficult builds would probably be my D'Agostini Falcon, just building and painting it, getting it to the level that I think. And Fett hands down. I was a big Return of the Jedi Fett. Hated the Return of the Jedi helmet, so I went special edition. So I got that Empire Strikes Back with the nice blast mark above his right eye there and everything. So with that, but that jetpack was a beating. That thing is so much masking and detailing. Yeah, I think I've got it in some shots here. It is just step by step, a lot of masking and all that to get that thing to where it needs to be. And yeah, so that one was probably the most challenging paint job wise. And of course, that was probably the first project I did coming out the gate. So why not?
Of course, yeah. Man, that looks good. Jeff S was asking, I missed how you get the gold done. Contact an auto body shop.
Well, actually, afterwards, I can give you the name of the company. They're not an auto body shop, but they specialize in the gold plating. They do a number of different things. I mentioned earlier, they actually did the Victoria's Secret Angels line and stuff like that. So
Nice.
these guys, they're the best of the best. And yeah, and they're open to business. They're used to people sending random stuff, whether it's I've had people send their premium format stuff. Have it gold, have it chromed out and stuff like that. So it's they'll do any size and they'll do it right. So yeah, I'm happy to provide that information at the end of this. I'll send it over to Mike or whatnot. We can put it out on one of the forums.
So let me ask you this: I missed was that a life-size Bumblebee you built, or
that Bumblebee? There was a friend of mine who's just an avid Transformers fan. Obviously, that's not to the exact one-to-one size of him, but
right.
The gentleman there, I think he's like 6'2". So, and he's already in painter stilts and things like that. So that Bumblebee is standing pretty tall right there. And he crafted and built the whole thing himself. Came up with all the how it works, how the joints work, how he can move around in it.
Oh, cool, yeah. Yeah, no, I love it. That's awesome.
Okay, that is sick. That is. Now, Kevin, can you build me one of these?
Oh my god!
Look at the size of that guy. Oh my gosh! I need a bigger shop.
Yeah, hey, you need a crane from the top to hold him up from falling over and killing you.
And Mike needs a bigger house if he's going to put it in his front lawn.
Yeah, I need a warehouse. Jeez, man, this thing. Gosh. If this ever hits the light of day, I'd be shocked. I mean, obviously there's a prototype.
Somebody will buy it. Somebody out there will have enough money to buy it.
Hold on.
They won't just make this.
What is shipping on this thing? Like $15,000?
You need one shipping container just for that.
Oh,
maybe two. I don't know.
I mean, this is amazing. I know we've talked about this before, but this is Queen Studios.
China probably already bought it. That's why they made it.
Yeah. So you think someone won off this and they're like, yeah, we'll bring it to market and make like 5 of them?
I mean, they can only sell, a couple at the most, but, make one off commission, bring it to Wonderfest, show off their skills. And then trust me, there is somebody out there with enough money bags to buy this thing. And somebody probably already owns this.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure this is in some kind of like mansion or
some dude's house. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is about as expensive as some dude's house, probably.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
And it lights up too. So
I mean,
not cheap.
Yeah, the repulsor's light up, man. It's got to be. It has LED.
Yeah, electronics will not be cheap in that motherfucker. Oh my god, that's gorgeous.
Oh, sorry, I can't help myself. All right, Kevin, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about? Any other prop stuff? Anything else you want to bring up with the photos that you sent me?
I mean, again, that's the whole name of this game is you just got to do a little bit of research. The one thing is patience. Patience is going to be a big thing. I've sat on forums where people have ordered hot toys, and when they get the announcement that's going to be stalled for a month or something, they lose their mind. This isn't for you then. This is not for you. This is one of those, you order it and you move on with life. You focus on other things. It will get there. Pieces will start showing up. I know with R2-D2, I was ordering parts all over the world to the point where I'm sure I should have been flagged. They might have thought I was building a bomb or something because I was from everywhere. So yeah, you just got to have a lot of patience. And I'll go ahead. I mean, I don't want to make it a secret or anything, but I did look it up. It's the gentleman who did my gold chroming, who did the thing for George Lucas, all that. His name is Don Pierre, and he owns a company called Coat of Chrome. So Don, his last name's Pierre. It's Pierre. So if you put Don Pierre in there, Coat of Chrome, you see a ton of images that come up from his shop and all that. The guy, he's got photos of the Ark of the Covenant in there, everything. So they do great work. That is the place to go if you got your Mandalorian that you want to be doing. If you want to be doing your C-3PO, whatever, they're the best of the best and the easiest to work with.
Trying to see if they have a website. Maybe not.
If anyone's really interested, they can always PM me and I can give you Don's direct number and you can call him up. And he's just one of those guys who picks up his phone all the time. No problem. Easy to work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably the best way
Awesome.
to do it. So for anyone watching this in the future, well, first of all, if we appreciate any likes and comments, of course, and any questions that you add in the future, we'll go ahead and we'll send them straight to Kevin. But that's something that Kevin and I actually talked about in the past too. And nothing like just being able to kind of pick up the phone or text or call someone who does this directly and just have a friendly conversation. So that is really freaking cool. This is something we definitely have to do. And I agree with the waiting, and I'm not usually a very patient person, but I think, becoming a parent over the last 2 years and going through various levels of education for 20 plus years of my life, I've learned to become more patient. And obviously, with age comes patience, I think. And here's something that I've been real patient about that I'm really excited that's coming in pretty soon. And so let's pull this up here. What do you guys think about this?
Life size?
Yes. Yeah. This is
Nice.
life-size 1-to-1 Empire Strikes Back Yoda.
Nice.
It's a Philip Robinson commission. And,
Wow.
I got to give this guy some props because, well, actually, we have 2 Yodas now, right? These are obviously very nice photos, and the photos that you're going to see of the Walt Wizard one are very bad photos that I took for Michael NYC just really quickly the other night. And, this is the one that's in the collection right now. And a matter of fact, Kevin, I think
like
that
that
Vader
one.
in the background is yours or was yours.
Oh, was that the bust?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I'm glad to get
Yep.
it home.
You know what I freaking love about this community, especially like the tight-knit guys here, is more than likely when you see a room tour of someone else, probably one of your pieces is in there. Like with Junior, I'm pretty sure like 30 to 40% of Junior's collection has been through my collection, and it's just funny. But yeah, I got this through Order 66, who got it through Kevin, and this was, I think, a couple of years ago now. But so yeah, this guy here is a beauty, and Philip Robinson is always hit up for lots of stuff, and I don't know how many commissions this guy has, but I was quoted 5 months, and 13 months later, it's finally being shipped. But the thing is, I didn't really hound him. I didn't really bother him. I just let time go by, because as you guys know, things are always coming in. You're putting your money towards different things, and you're like, oh, okay, I can push off this payment another month. And then by the time you know it, your room is filled, and finally this is coming in. And I was almost to the point where I was like, I'm not really interested anymore. I got this beautiful freaking Walt Wizard that I love so much. It's, silicone. It holds the lightsaber. Details are phenomenal. You can't tell from the crappy iPhone picture. Soft goods are great. I got this from Walt, I think literally less than 3 months. And, he did a batch of 30. I think he still has a few left, but don't quote me. So I was like, I don't really want this ESB one. But, then I was talking to Harry, Australia Harry. And, he was getting real excited because his was being done too. And he was sending me some photos. And, there's just love for this original trilogy Yoda. And I'm just really, really looking forward to this now. And, props to him. I know he's a busy guy, and, I also have his Palpatine that I just sent to Junior not too long ago because, Junior's the king of busts now. Does phenomenal work. This is sculpted, so it's not silicone, and I think the details for being sculpted are just incredible.
Yeah, that is hands down one of the best Yodas I've seen. I'm biased because after seeing you and a few others posted, I've also ordered one.
Nice.
So I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's the best out there, man. Anything else is a chump. So no, it's, that is hands down one of the best. Another one that's really good, if you guys ever get the chance, is out at Celebration this year. There was a gentleman by the name of Gino Sabatino. He did the Vader for Sideshow and stuff. Here's a video with him with his Yoda meeting Ewan McGregor, and the thing is ridiculous.
That's cool.
And yeah, Ewan's all like actually interacting with the puppet and stuff like that. But I mean, these are like the best you can get out there is this kind of stuff right here. And again, you're going to someone who's not a licensed guy with Disney and with the Star Wars line, and the quality's out there if you can hunt it down.
Yes.
How much was this one running?
Let me think about this for a second. It was 1,500 British pounds. So, do the conversion there. Plus shipping, which was I think like 95 pounds. But okay, take that for a second. Compare that to Sideshow. And again, nothing against Sideshow. I like the Sideshow stuff, but I think the Sideshow 1-to-1 Yoda is 223. Hold on a second. It's over 2,000. Okay, Sideshow's having a weird time. But Sideshow Yoda 1-to-1. Here it is. No, that's on eBay. That's a child. Here we go. This one. Do you guys notice that Sideshow's website's been kind of weird on iPhone recently, and now it's actually really weird on Google Chrome? So here's the Sideshow one. This has been out for a long time, free shipping. But look at this.
2,200 plus
tax. 9-10% depending on what state you're in. Less in other states. So I'd say that I got a pretty good deal on.
For sure.
On this guy here, I'd say that's a great deal actually.
Yeah, this one looks better.
Hands down,
way better.
It looks way better. It's got hair. It looks a lot more realistic and lifelike. Yeah.
And you know what? This is. I know we're talking a lot of 1-to-1 and props, and I know that we collect everything, collectors enabled. But I feel like having Kevin here tonight, we can really talk about the differences of what you can buy out of the store. Again, nothing wrong with it. I love it. I think it looks great. Versus what you can kind of hunt down, what you can do yourself, what you can source. Because here's another example. Would you get the Sideshow one? Would you get this one? Same thing with my Vader. I know that Gino Sabatino designed the Sideshow Vader, and I think that Sideshow Vader looks phenomenal. I mean, the size is excellent, the presence is excellent, the light up features are great. But at the end of the day, the cost is maybe 30 to 40% more than the Vader that I'm working on, and the Vader that you get is pretty much. I know that Sideshow says, okay, you can hide the armor either underneath or on top, but it's pretty much sort of a generic A New Hope kind of ish version, versus you can be as specific as you want and as detailed as you want doing it yourself, and kind of doing Phoenix props, or you're going through guys like Mike Warren or Manny or any of the other really talented people out there, and again saving enough to buy a Regal Robot Chewie bust or a Regal Robot Tusken Raider. So you give a full-size Vader and you can have that. And so, this has always been sort of one of my passions over the last kind of year and a half, 2 years, kind of getting into that 1-to-1. And I kind of, thought that tonight would be a really nice night to share that. But,
well, here's the thing. Let's take this Yoda that you got for over here. Well, you said ES of 30.
Oh, okay. So this I believe is an open commission, but this is an ES of 30. Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't matter. Either way, they both look phenomenal, and they look way better than whatever Sideshow does. And what it comes down to, I mean, is when you're going with someone like this who you find and they have the skills to do it and they're doing a small run, they're going to put the quality in there because that's what they're doing. And it's also, there is really not that much. I mean, there's a lot less work in QC on a set of 30 versus Sideshow makes things by bulk, and they have to do it because of their business model and because of economies of scale and because of how they have to make returns and yada, yada, yada.
Right.
So, I mean, here's the thing. At the end of the day, if you only care about just getting what you like, then definitely this is the way to go. But there are a lot of people who don't want to put in the work to go hunt these things down, don't want to find the person. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is the whole is very similar to why some people will only buy customs and some people will never buy customs. It's just
That's true.
kind of like the same thing. It's just here you're really into this, so you've got the connections and you found the people and you took the time and you put in the effort to figure out who you can talk to work with to get what you want. And when the product comes out this great, then yeah, it's always going to be a win-win. So it's just a matter of what there's just a lot of people who are not going to go to that. It's easier to just go, oh look, it's 20, fine, just pay it, and then it's close enough, and they don't really need to go beyond that. But are you going to get a better piece going this way? Obviously, always, 100%.
Yeah, and that's here's the thing. Hello, we're right here. If someone wants this, PM me. It's very easy for me to share this information.
Yep.
And I think that's like a big thing, Mike, like how we talked about when we were kind of creating the page and stuff, is like most of this stuff the regular person never sees, because they're never exposed to it. Like the models we were looking at, like I've never seen that stuff before, so
I mean,
there's so much stuff out there anymore that people just aren't exposed to, and I think the commission stuff, people get a little nervous with it because there's been some sour stories out there, but there's so many great people out there doing great stuff, that it's great that it's getting exposed as much as it is now,
Right. Now, here's again, there are some amazing commissioners and there are some commissioners that people don't know about, but obviously there's enough of us out there that care for each other that are going to steer you in the right direction. Now, the one thing, and the thing that sours me with commissioners the most is usually the wait time. Now, with statues, and we all have done custom statues, we know that the reason that's so long is because you're involved in the prototyping stage, maybe from the concept, the drawings, to the the original print, the original paint. And we know that process can take anywhere from 8 months to 18 months or longer. And so versus when Sideshow drops the Rosario Dawson Ahsoka, which by the way, beautiful, the Sideshow is pretty much showing, at least I think now they're showing production models when they show stuff. And so that's a production version of the statue. We're probably 6 months out from shipping, or actually receiving it in our houses. So we know it's a longer process. The pain point on some of these customs is, oh, damn, this is maybe not their job. And you're like Kevin, Kevin's doing great things for our friends. But it's not his job. This is something that he does over the weekends, and maybe Kevin, wants to do family stuff or go on vacation or whatever. It might take longer, but that's understandable. For some of these commissioners that take, oh yeah, I'm going to take a down payment of 25% and 5 months. Well, a lot of people are expecting it in 5 months, and I think a lot of people are not as nice as I am, or as lenient. I'd say we're all nice. We're all pretty nice here, but people are knocking down the door. And for anyone who has done work with Manny in Portimac, Manny does some amazing stuff. Manny's had a lot of, family stuff going on over the last year or so. And so a lot of these projects have been building up and up. And I'm like, Manny, where are we, man? All I need is my armor and my Vader and my helmet. And he's like, he basically told me, and I love Manny, that he needs to get to the whiners before me because they're making his life a living hell. And so I'm like, hang on, Manny. All I need to do is, bust your nuts.
Be a whiner.
So, but dinner. Yeah, but so for guys that it's not your primary job, I get it. This YouTube channel is not our primary job. We do it because we freaking love it. And so sometimes we're not prepared, and sometimes like tonight we actually are prepared. But it's just to have fun. But I forgot where I was going with it. The pain point.
Anyway, but hang on, with statues specifically though, the other difference with statues specifically is that the last year or so, everything is a lot slower. Like the good painters, they're booked, so you're waiting in line. You could have your print. You can have your print and proto done, and you sent to your master painter. The painter has to paint it before it goes to the factory, before you get production sample. Well, that master painter might have like 3 other customs in front of you. So now you're waiting on that too before you even get to print and prototype stage, and then blah, 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 blah. So customs in general with the statues in the last, it's always been longer, but it's also a lot more complicated now with COVID, shipping, blah blah blah, China closing its doors every now and then. So the thing about it is, I mean, after a while, when you're in this hobby, you're seasoned, you kind of know what to expect, and you know how to navigate the waters. But for a lot of people coming in, and the other thing too with customs is, it's kind of like, if you know, then you understand the rules. There are a lot of unwritten rules that exist for a reason, and there are a lot of people who are not going to buy into that. And it's fine, don't buy into that. Then this is not the game for you. There are people who understand that the rules exist for certain legal reasons, and that's why they're doing it that way. And that's why you either play along or you don't. It's very simple. You either like it or you don't. Don't like it, don't like the exclusivity, don't like the secrecy, then don't buy it. Right. That's what everything else is for. But if you get the game, the difference is you get a piece that no one else can do.
Exactly.
Like the licensed company won't do. Like this freaking Ghost Rider that's sending right here, no one else will be able to touch that. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on what you like as an individual and how you like to play it, how you like to collect, really.
Warren, if you're watching either now or in the future, remember me on the Ghost Rider, because you told me you would hook me up. So don't forget. But speaking of licensed statues, I finally, I'm really doing some spring cleaning around the house here. And like I said, trying to redo my upstairs and build a second nursery and all this stuff. Basically, one room is full of boxes. I just need to, if you think that, here's the nice thing about Hot Toys. I can stack 20 of them right there. Doesn't take up any room. If I have 5 statues and half of them are Prime 1,
you get more.
It's like 10 boxes. That's a full, 10 by 20 room. But so I need to unbox things. My wife knows I need to unbox things. I unboxed this guy not too long ago.
Gorgeous, man. That is so
gorgeous. I love that.
Dude, Kevin, I saw you be like, man. Here's what I got to say. First of all, okay, Warren, you were right. All right, this line. This line is incredible.
Yeah, Matrix of leadership, man.
Dude. I love it. And it has a swap out. You could do 2 guns. You could do a shorter gun, because you can see how I hung this gun kind of off the side and out of my garage shelving. I also freaking love the vehicle that XM gives you. It's so cool to see the transformed version, the robot, and to see the non-transformed version. I think that XM has totally nailed this. The other thing I thought was nice is I've been sitting on my Jet Power Optimus. I've had the base open for
that thing's so dope.
I know I've had the base open for 2 months now. I finally put C batteries in the base just to make sure it lights up. But I have 2 boxes of like 90 pieces, or I think it's over 100 pieces that you need to put together. And here's the thing. Here's my one gripe recently, and maybe you guys can chime in, one at a time. If I have a piece that goes on a statue, and it takes me like 20 minutes to find where that piece goes, is it really necessary? John, what's your thoughts?
Man, I just know that I agree with you there. Some of those pieces can take forever to box, and it feels more like work than anything,
Yes.
To where you get used to those statues where you pull them out of the box and it's like a couple pieces, and then you feel like you're putting a Lego set together on some of these, and so I hear you.
So it's literally like, okay, so this Rodimus wasn't too bad. The worst thing about Rodimus was that it came in a single box that weighed
a lot.
It had to have weighed like 75 or 80 pounds.
Weighed a lot, yeah.
So I had to unbox it downstairs, and then I took the first layer of styrofoam upstairs to my room, and then I had the second layer downstairs, which was like the base, I think, the body, and a few other big pieces, and the car. And I'd say this took me.
It's not light either. That car is a substantial weight.
Okay, so here's the thing. This thing looks, when you let me see, where's that picture that I kind of, okay, the car doesn't look that big. It looks maybe like, Hot Wheels ish, slightly bigger, toy.
It's heavy.
This thing is a solid brick, and it's like this big. It's like probably 8 or 9 inches long. Yeah. It's a solid brick of resin or stone. Yeah. And Rodimus, I keep my shelves at 36 inches a shelf. So that's how tall he is. I mean, he's, obviously he's not that tall, but his gun they give you a shorter one that fits within the 36-inch garage shelving. What I do like about this XM is the base is not huge. You can see the base is kind of narrow, and he's kind of pointed like almost like a warrior type pose. So you can actually turn him sideways, and you don't have this like 2-foot wide freaking base. Like the jet power base, which I think is like 26 inches wide or 28 inches wide. But I do have Soundwave. Soundwave needs to be open next. I just got invited into another BST group, and someone's selling an Optimus G1, and I think that I'm probably gonna get Grimlock and the G1 Optimus or Nemesis, and I'll probably at the Starscream. Oh, damn it!
And then today I enabled you on that last night Megatron too.
Oh, you mother. Okay, so at least that was waitlisted. And here's the thing, I was thinking, okay, Kevin is gonna hook me up, with the last night, and
nice.
Let me close this for a second, and then Payne sends me, this link right here. Let me pull that up, and for some reason,
I sure did. I sure
for
sent it.
some reason, I just sit on the Prime One website and I look at stuff because it's beautiful works of art. And I've, in particular, been looking at the Transformers quite a bit. I don't know how I missed this, and maybe Kevin, you could chime in.
Well, it was. I don't think it was waitlisted before. That's the thing. I think it might have been gone in the past. I just saw it today.
So it came back up. So they found some boxes.
I don't know, but I think it came back up because I don't remember it being available in the past.
Neither do I.
And that's why as soon as it came back up, and I was like, wait a minute, no way. I saw it. I put myself on waitlist, and then I quickly texted you.
I mean, this thing with the last night Optimus, woo.
It's that thing's gorgeous. I mean, I'm still waiting for the new Megatron coming out. And see, and I'm passing you over my Optimus just so I have a new space for Megatron to go. But more importantly, Mike, I just got to make sure I've got this correct. When you were opening Rodimus Prime, were you at least listening to Mr. Stan Bush, The Touch? I need to know that was happening. That has got to be happening.
That's what's up. You got to listen to that song, man.
Oh man, so good, so good. Yeah, dude. God. Oh man, okay, I gotta stop. Someone else do something. Someone. Yeah, we need to.
It's dope, man. I think I've got B and Prime right there, so I think Megatron will go right here. I've got a slide Ghost Rider back of it, but that thing. I mean, they usually convert. So.
Oh, do they really?
Almost always converts for me. In the past, so I'm pretty sure we'll get it. So yeah, I'm stoked, man. I was like, wait, no way. This is what brought it about today was I got this email from Pop Culture out of Australia, and they were having a 20% off sale, and so I was just seeing what's up, and then I saw that they had a last night Megatron, but it was a regular, but it was 20% off, so that was a really good price. It ended up being like 16 or so, but then shipping Prime 1 from Australia will kill you. Shipping wise, and so I was talking to our buddy Chasen because I messaged him too. I was like, hey, this is because he's looking for Transformers as well, and I'm like, hey, do the math, the discount, but then the shipping might kill you. And then I was like, I wonder if it's still up on Prime 1. I'm just curious because I don't think I've ever looked. And then I went to the Prime 1 set. I was like, wait a minute, no, wait a minute, waitlist. I'm like, what? Like that thing's been gone for a long time, and I'm like,
that's what I thought because it came out probably the same time as last night Optimus. Right. I'm guessing, right? 2018, 2017.
Yeah, like and that. The EX. I mean, so the EX is what 300 for the EX version. The ES for the EX is 300. Yes. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I just did the waitlist because I know I've got 24 hours to cancel with no penalty if I change my mind. Quickly did it, and then I texted you. Because I
quickly did it.
Yeah, because it's either they found some or we're on the very last batch of production where they're only making a couple more pieces.
I see.
The very last run. And so I was like, screw it.
Yeah. I noticed that Prime 1 Direct does that quite a bit because I think, when Will Foxification messaged me about the Sauron a while ago, he's like, Mike, it's low stock Sauron on for the EX. You need to get this. It's sold out everywhere else. And I'm a Lord of the Rings fan, and and a 4 foot tall quarter scale Sauron, of course, and it looked beautiful. So I bought it, and then I went to the Prime One's website, I think the next day, and boom, sold out or waitlist. And then, a couple months later, I went just for the heck of it, and right back in stock. Kind of like Hot Toys, but not as obvious. Like, okay, did anyone really think that the 1/6 scale Clone Wars Darth Maul was actually out of stock on Sideshow's website?
They got you though, Mike, didn't they?
Damn you! Ah, damn it! So first thing I did, because here's what I did. I canceled my Sideshow. This was one before I knew John, before I even knew John's store existed. And for anyone that doesn't know, John runs Off the Rack Collectibles, and typically John sells things at when you look at Sideshow's price, that's basically John's price shipped, except for really big things and whatever. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to cancel this. I can get my NRD back. And then this weekend it waitlisted. And I was like, son of a. So the first thing I did was go over Off the Rack and buy it from John. So, but it's still, anywho. Yeah, they got me.
You have a question from Matt, Mike. You got to put up.
Oh,
question
see.
For Kevin.
Oh, okay. What's the most intricate, time-consuming one-to-one build you've created aside from Fett?
That would probably have to be Bausch. If I'm sticking with the 1-to-1, that Bausch took me a little time to really work, and I'm not a seamstress, so I had to really leverage some outside vendors to do the soft parts and stuff like that. But the helmet and painting the gear and stuff like that. There was a lot of time that was put into getting those details just right. So I would think of a lot of the 1-to-1 pieces I did. This was probably one of the more intricate ones.
Damn. Wait, you did that helmet from a kit?
Yep. Yeah, you can see the kit over there on the left. I acquired that. She's got her Facebook page. She's called Bausch Build. And
Annie.
Just hit her up, and you can get hold of the vendor who does the kits, and she actually does the leather pieces. So she cuts those out, and then she'll send them to you, and you of course have to apply them. But there's a lot of work on that, and you could see in one of the photos there on the top, we had a couple going at one time. So again, we were doing a little assembly line. So if you had hit me up at that time, I would have done one for you too, as I was going along and with my airbrush, just going right down the row. But that's
awesome.
That was a lot of fun. And heck, we even got I forgot the remote there, that training remote. That thing's the one that actually levitates. That's Trooper Trent's. And if you want a 1-to-1 prop, that thing is awesome. It is beautiful. It used to be like the globe on one of those magnet bases that just rotates, and he strips that off, and his kit comes with everything you need for a few $100. And within a couple days, you can build it out, and it looks perfect. And he gives you step-by-step instructions. It is one of the best out on the market, in my opinion. It's one of the pieces I love that's still in my display right now.
Dang. Okay. I had a Trooper Trent. And then it's literally sat in a box for 10 months. And the only reason I know that is because I was going to have my wife make it for me. But then Jason from Rogue One 6 messaged me, and he was looking for a Trooper Trent kit. And he does like runs of them, and he sells them on Etsy, and he sells them direct, I think. And I guess they were out of stock at the time. So I sold it to Jason. And I don't regret it, because again, just one of those people where I don't have the time. I have the resources and I have the desire. I just don't have the time, and I don't have the artistic skill. But the reason I went for the Trooper Trent was because he has YouTube videos, and it's literally like all in a box. And I think I'm going to rebuy another one and just do it, because I do love that it levitates. And here was one thing I wanted to talk about. Now, we're all fans of statues. We're all, I think, Payne doesn't do Star Wars, but we're all fans of MYC and Michael. And Michael is getting into vehicles and props. Like, he made a marksman remote, but they're statues. in reality because they're poly resin, they're heavy, they're detailed. But the one thing I love about my Sandcrawler, about my X-wing, about this ATST that's about to come in is they're light, and they you could put them anywhere. They're not going to destroy a DTOF shelf. They're not going to you don't need to buy a garage shelf to support 1,000 pounds. I love that about models. Now, that being said, Kevin, I want to ask you, did you order any of the NYC models that he's come out with so far?
Yeah, I finally pulled the trigger. A lot of the pieces he had, I've already built or done myself, but I did not have the skiff. And as a child of the 80s, I'm like, man, Return of the Jedi, hands down, adrenaline rush. Luke Skywalker doing that flip off of the board back over. I'm going, please. As a kid, I stopped watching the movie at that end because I got so excited I had to run out and recreate it every time. I never got past the Sarlacc pit. I was like, nope, gonna go reenact it with my own action figures. So yeah, that one I pulled the trigger. I've got that one on pre-order. But man, his stuff's looking good. That the first tie has showed up, and I think it's the Vader's tie, and that thing is looking incredible.
It's looking really freaking good. And a lot of people were like being you can't, okay, we all know this, you can't judge something until it's actually in your hands, because photos suck, or it's just a render in some cases. But until you get that in your hand and you can see it, a lot of people were worried because the poly resin, whatever, details aren't going to be good as a model. The paint applications can't be as good. Now, I do believe that, okay, Chris, who's doing my models, and you doing your own models, you're working on 1, 2, 3 at the same time. You're putting a really personal touch to it. Now, these guys in his factory are not making that many, 50, 40, 30. I think there's just a little extra detail probably that you can do with the paint washes and the small details on these kits that maybe you can't do on like a resin.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. And again, that's, to me, that's Star Wars. Even, if I get one of these, I may still take it in and weather it a little bit more. Yeah. Some simple techniques for anyone who's out there who gets someone and goes, man, I just like to weather that a little bit more. I want to get that where it looks like some of the paint is chipped off and it's just a little bit of that metal showing through. Just get the smallest brush, go get yourself some silver paint. Doesn't matter what it is. Dip it in the paint, wipe it a few times on a napkin or whatnot, and then just lightly brush that corner. You will pull off this silver fleck right on the corner. It'll look so naturally weathered. It's ridiculous. It's just a dry brush technique. It's stuff like that just like that, you can turn around one of your pieces and it just pops. And it's like, oh my, that's it. Beautiful.
That's really good.
Kevin, all these one-to-one stuff you do you make, and then you make one for yourself and then you sell the rest?
I really don't sell any. A lot of these are other guys in the shop who are doing it just at the same time as myself. So like I said, we've got a little bit of an assembly line. Some guys figure out, oh, actually, if you mask this and paint it like this, you get this nice technique. So it's really, I'm just working with other guys as they're doing their own. And most of them just do it and put it in their own collection.
So what you're saying is when you come out with your ceremony R2-D2, I could put your current one in my collection? I'm not kidding.
I actually thought about going Imperial on this one behind me. I was thinking about going all like matte black with some high gloss black on some of the parts.
Nice.
Do like an R9 or I forgot what his code name. Yeah, something like that. It'd be sick. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, never mind. Do that. I'd rather see that. Hey, let's I want to show, speaking of almost life-size stuff, can we talk about this for a second? What do we think? John, what do you think?
So what are they saying? This is 1/3?
Yeah, they're calling it a 1/3 scale bust.
When I first saw kind of the announcement, I just, in my mind, I wasn't comprehending the size of this thing until I saw this picture. The first thing I thought is, will Mike consider this?
I did consider it. Yep.
Yeah. And the verdict is what?
Okay, so there's no pre-order. Let's just put it that way. But I keep coming back to it. And first of all, those windshield wipers I could probably use on my car, or at least like my son's car, right? So I was talking to Junior about this, and I was talking to Warren and a few others, and here's the no. Okay, they don't have the picture of like the doors opening and showing
Yeah, with
like
the
what the
Matrix of
walls are.
Leadership. That's the
Yeah.
one. That's the shot. Yeah.
I don't know why they don't have it up here. But anywho, I love this thing. Okay, let's just be totally clear. I think it's beautiful. I love G1 Transformers. I also love Bayformers. Okay. And the price, it's an XM Studios price. You know, now these are Singapore dollars right here. I think US. I think Todd.
It's like 33 or so.
Yeah, Todd has it for like 30 something. And I'm sure shipping across country from California to Tennessee is like
Well, hang on. There's my first thought. This thing is 165 pounds.
oh, so it's probably freight then.
It's definitely you're 100. This is 75 kilos, 165 pounds for just the thing, not counting the packaging. So this is going to be multi-box and freight. You're like, this is not going to be cheap.
It's going to be about $600 probably.
It's going to be more. And number two, where the hell, where are you going to put it? What shelf do you own that can support that weight? That's my only question. What shelf do you own that can support that kind of weight? You need like a really like joke.
It has to go on either a custom made, like really nice custom made pedestal, like something that Kevin was showing before. It would have to go on a garage shelf. Oh, hold on, 91 centimeters. What is 91 centimeters? That's less than 36 inches.
No, it's right about 30. Because 105 is Hush Superman. That's 40 and a half. So 90 is around 37, maybe.
Damn it! It's more than 36.
Let's find out.
Yeah, please find out.
Sure, it is.
Here's a murder, and it says 35.82 inches.
Damn!
Okay. So just under the 36.
So it's gonna hit the top of your shelf.
Okay, hold on. Here's my new display thing that I'm gonna do in the new room in the future, probably before Thanksgiving, because that's my deadline. I'm gonna line for any of you who've looked at watched Flankster's videos. He basically has like a line of garage shelving, and he has the bottom shelf, the 36-inch shelf, and then boom, and then like posters and stuff. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm gonna do in that room, and that's gonna be it. And I might do something in the center for like unboxing, maybe do like a double garage shelf and just have something underneath and something on top for unboxings and whatnot. This would work there because these garage shelf supports allegedly 600 pounds. They work, right? Let's see. It's 110 centimeters wide. I can offset it a little bit.
44.
Yeah, you can. So they're 48 inches. Damn, that's big.
Just take up the entire shelf. Hey man, my only thing is I don't want to carry that shit up the stairs.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on. Who's coming over and helping me carry Carbonite Han up the stairs when it gets delivered from Sideshow? Hopefully by the end of the summer.
Good luck with
John's
that, bro.
too far away. Kevin's too far away. Payne, you're like a 3-hour ride. You need to go to the gym.
I'm like an hour and a half or two at the most.
That's okay. Even better. You need to go to the gym for the next 3 months. Maybe 6 if it gets delayed again, and then I need you to come over, and I'll buy you some pizza, some beer, whatever you want, and we're gonna carry that slab of carbonite and the base, by the way.
Oh God!
Up 2 flights of stairs. Well, 1 flight of stairs.
Oh my God! I shudder. Yeah, probably.
I mean,
oh my God, that's a lot of work.
It's kind of. Oh, here's the thing. Okay, this is a real life issue. So, John, the Godzilla behind you, how much did that weigh? Base and everything.
Oh, I'm not sure. It's not as heavy as you think.
Okay. Is it solid or is it like a hollow internal?
It's pretty solid.
Okay.
I thought it would be heavier than what it was. So.
Do you think it's less than 50 pounds probably?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably around there. Yeah.
Okay, that's not too bad. I think Rodimus that we just looked at was he's probably 40-ish something, 50-ish something pounds. Okay. This is a good question. How do you get this up the stairs? And I'm assuming it's multiple parts. It's probably the base, the torso, the head, the 2 arms, the doors probably. But damn. I mean, at what point? Okay, I think about guys like Art Statue Collector, Randy from Collector's Arc, anyone with like a true gallery, like Michael from Collection Wars, who basically has his own Disneyland, Star Wars. If you don't have that, how do you get this? Is it possible?
Mm.
I mean, or are you just a diehard Transformers fan and you're going to get this no matter what and you're going to make it work?
I mean, I'm sure some people will do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I had that Rodimus you have. I had it and I canceled. Just because I saw the weight on the box, I was like, no. I'm at the point with my collection where, when okay, you're not gonna see it, but there's this big anime piece back there, and that box came as 120 cm. So the box came up to about here. It's a really heavy box. Just to ship that thing domestically is over $350. But like my point is that I'm starting to sell, like that's going out for sale next week. I'm starting to sell things and cancel orders based on how big the box is and how heavy the piece is and how much I don't want to lift it up the stairs. That's my barometer now. Now it's like I used to be like, oh, I'm just gonna grab it because I love it, and then now it's like I love it, but how much of my back do I really love? And then so now I'm just like, box too big. See ya. It's gone. And then Rodimus, I saw the weight. I was like, nope, not doing it. 41 kilos. Nope.
I would consider, I know Rodimus is still available from some places. I would consider that. But, all jokes aside, really, is bigger better in collecting? Now, I like 1-to-1, but I also have a special place in my heart for 1/6. But I think there's a sweet spot between 1/4 and 1/3. So for example, like take this guy, for example. Okay. Quarter scale, Iron Studios, really nice Maul, not too big. Let's see, 23 inches high, 11 inches deep, 21 pounds. Not bad, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and by the way, anyone picking this Maul up?
I'm on the fence. I'm really thinking about it. Now, I got the legendary Maul back in the day. I ended up selling it. It was a little too big, but I do dig into this. But again, I'm looking around my room and I'm just kind of going, where am I going to put it? And if it doesn't have a home, I either got to make it by getting rid of something I really love, or I've got to pass on it. The struggle is real, guys. The struggle really is. Yeah. It's tearing me up. I mean, I make easier decisions in my regular world of business.
Oh yeah, 100 times easier. Yeah, I mean, So, Payne, I know you're not picking this up because we haven't gotten you into Star Wars yet. John, I know you're getting these in. Are you thinking about keeping one for yourself?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I had the 1/4 Maul that had the cloth on it, I had a custom robe on it too, but I ended up selling that. I don't know. There's just something about a fully sculpted one that for me. Go ahead,
John. Did you ever have the XM dynamic leaping off the Sith speeder?
No, I was too late into the statue game to want to spend that type of money. But I mean, I probably would have if I would have been in the game. But I mean, I have the Mythos too. But
I had the Mythos and I sold it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Mythos 1 or Mythos 2?
2.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I had the 2 and I sold it. Yeah.
The robotic one.
Yeah.
Can I maybe throw out an unpopular opinion and see how you guys react?
Let's hear it.
Okay. Darth Maul statues are boring. They are very dark, all black, not a lot of details. Head looks awesome. Love Dathomir and love Zabrax. Love the droid, but in general, Darth Maul is boring. Okay, now John, your response first.
I don't know. So that kind of talk went back to like the XM is semi-dynamic. I don't know.
But
Maul's
okay,
just one of those guys that just looks cool standing there with his lightsaber. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
he's
with that.
menacing, just standing there. You know,
And
Yes.
the double bladed, yeah.
he has presence. He is cool as hell. He's amazing. Double bladed lightsaber. But I'm gonna throw this out there too. I have the XM dynamic Maul, and I'm selling it to Justin. Justin, pay this so I can send it to you. I need to clear out that space in that room. But I even contend that statue's kind of boring. Sith Speeder is awesome. The sandy base is awesome, but Maul, just all black, not many details. Okay, Kevin, I know you want to say something.
If I was to relate this, like my wife and stuff like that, it's those photos that are always black and white, and then they have one accent of red, and they sell millions of it. I forget who the photographer is, but the Maul's kind of like that. He just needs just that red, and it's like, man, that's menacing, that's cool, that's Maul. Now, from a prop builder or something standpoint or painting, I would love to be like a sideshow, because this doesn't take a lot to invest in, and you get to turn quite a profit. It's like this is beautiful. This is a marriage right here. This is great. So I can see that I can see your point, but to me, I'm leaning with John and stuff. I mean, when you look at something like it's Maul. He's still badass. I mean, he single-handedly, and maybe this is unpopular, saved the Phantom Menace. Maul was the end all be all for the Phantom Menace to be any good. And
that is true.
That's true.
Yeah. So Payne, Maul, boring statue or must have?
No, I mean I like Clone Wars Maul better. Clone Wars CE7 outfit. When he fights Ahsoka. In general, I'm a bigger fan of all of the Clone Wars and the Rebel stuff. And the new. Well, if you watch Clone Wars and you watch Rebels, and now you watch Mandalorian and you watch Boba Fett and you watch Kenobi, it's like that. I'm just in heaven, because it's like everything interconnected. Like that episode in Fett where Ahsoka's with Luke and he's like, just like your father. It's like, if you watch all the backstory of all of Clone Wars, you see Ahsoka as a kid and now Ahsoka as a full-fledged adult, Jedi, and it's just like, oh, that's so awesome. But Maul's a great character, man. Maul sells. There's so many Maul statues because he sells. He sells as much as Vader. I wish they do more of the CE7 Clone Wars one. I like that. I like that. But I'm gonna say that, to your point, if you say it's all black and boring, well, Vader's all black and boring.
Oh, damn you! No, Vader. He's got his armor. He's badass.
He's got a bunch of blue and red buttons. That's it, bro. He's still black and all over. I'm just saying.
Okay, well, number one, I hate you. You're not allowed back on the show. Number two, I own every single freaking Vader, plus a custom life size, plus custom 1/3, which I am so damn excited about. I'm gonna pay for the DHL because here's the thing. We've talked about shipping before. When shipping on Prime One or customs, like 50 to 100-ish plus more to get it in like 4 days versus 4 months. I'm paying the $50 to $100. When it's like $500 difference, $300, $200 difference. When it's the cost of a hot toy, I won't do it. But I can't wait. And Kevin, are you getting that one too? The 1/3
That's the Dynamics one, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got that one coming as well.
I knew you would.
I really hope my wife's not watching this. You guys are going to be in so much trouble saying how much.
So I'm going to say this to you, Mike.
Okay.
I like Anakin more than I like Vader. Haha.
That's okay. Listen, dude. Okay,
Clone Wars Anakin. I love that one. I love Clone Wars.
There are Star Wars fans who before my generation, probably our generation, who grew up on Clone Wars. And that's the Anakin that they know and they love. And now they're getting into their, 20s, and they're like, I think it's like the mid-20s, late 20-year-olds. Anakin he's the shit. He's the best. Because that's who they grew up on. I'm totally cool with that. If people who are casual fans who maybe like you, Payne, you jumped in on Clone Wars, you jumped in on Rebels, and
I watched the movies. I just like Clone Wars more. That's all.
You got that whole. But listen, my opinion, I think that Anakin Clone Wars is the best damn Anakin. He saved. We don't have to go into this debate, but you get the full.
You see his whole arc. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I love
and
that.
and,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful. And Matt Lanter, all those guys did an amazing job. But anywho, it's getting okay. We're at 11 o'clock right now, and I kind of want to wind down. And I told my wife we'd finish a little early. I know we did like till midnight last week, but I think that it's fair game to maybe talk about Obi-Wan just a little bit, right? Obviously, the part 3 hasn't come out yet. Part 1 and 2, Disney already posted pictures of Leia and all that stuff, so I think it's fair game to talk about. First of all, number 1, everyone watch part 1 and 2?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So Payne, you're real interesting because you're more of the more modern Star Wars, guy. I think John, you're a pretty big Star Wars guy, just in like OT and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then Kevin, you don't like Star Wars at all.
Not at all.
So
look at his background. He does not like Star Wars.
I just want to get your guys' opinion, and I'll start with Payne. You saw the first 2 Obi-Wans. What do you think?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I think it's great. Like I said, for me, it's more of seeing the continuity from first 6 movies to Clone Wars to Rebels, and then all the other shows. Because for me, it's like the story. It's just nice because you got to think the years that Disney and the people working at LM, they couldn't do live action. The technology wasn't there for the money to do live action. So the only way to tell these stories was through 3D animation. Yep. And I'm biased because I'm a 3D animator and I went to Disney school and I want to, that's eventually I hope to go back into that field. But
sure.
So I love that stuff. And now to see those same stories told live action, it's like that's super awesome. And I'm one of those viewers that's like, I guess I'm not very critical when it comes to stuff like that. It's like if you put it in front of me, I'm like, oh, this is way better than no Obi-Wan. This is fucking awesome. I'm so happy to see this. So when I saw Rosario as Ahsoka, I lost my shit because you got to remember, I watched Ahsoka from the first Clone Wars movie when she's supposedly 13 or 14 when she was Snips, and then season 1, season 2, season 3 until season 7 where she is complete badass. And then to see her as like adult Rosario, like, yeah, that was my like,
Yep. Oh, dude,
So,
you totally skipped through Rebels with Fulcrum and
right, yeah, and that fight in season 2 of Rebels where she fights Vader, when at end of season 2, the Twilight episode, So my only thing that I don't get is, so at the beginning of Obi-Wan, you kind of see him, it's been 10 years, he's kind of lost his powers a little bit, or he's not as in shape. I'm trying to figure out how, and I bet you maybe they haven't thought about this in writing, but remember in Rebels season 3, Obi-Wan kills Maul in one short strike. So how are you gonna fix the, I've got no powers, so suddenly I'm way more badass than I was when I was younger? I don't know. Maybe they haven't thought about it, but who knows?
I think they have thought about it. Who wants to? Anyone want to chime in?
On that part of it, I think this whole it's going to lead up to him, Obi-Wan facing off against Vader, which I love that because I kept telling myself after watching episode 3, I was kind of like, yeah, but he saw Anakin died. Is he just making the assumption, or did he put it together that he became Vader because he thinks Anakin's dead? So I love the idea that we're going to see one more face-off, but it's going to be Obi-Wan and Vader. And to that point, and to Payne's question, I think that's when his skills heighten again, and and maybe that's something that carries through, and we see when he faces off against Maul later on.
Yeah,
yes,
probably. Yeah.
Now, Payne, I want to answer your question about the really short Maul fight. And so I don't know if you knew this, but if you watch the fight of Maul versus Qui-Gon in episode 1, it's literally the same exact fight, only when Maul goes up high to strike Qui-Gon, Qui-Gon does the block and Maul spins. He does the same exact moves, only Obi-Wan knows not to go up high. Obi-Wan goes down low and kills Maul. So
I didn't notice that.
You have to watch the behind the scenes.
Well, you see, you know what? I think it's interesting because I study Japanese swordsmanship. So that move when I saw that move in that fight, that was it's a shortcut that I know and I recognize. So I just thought he pulled off a very specific cut, but I didn't think about what you're saying. Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of Qui-Gon's fight with Maul. Again, Maul tries the same exact thing, but Obi-Wan goes in a completely different direction.
Yeah,
than Qui-Gon.
I gotta rewatch it tonight now. Thanks,
dude. Yeah, and you need to watch the behind the scenes and watch Filoni talk about it. It's
okay.
Everything is. Here's the thing. Okay, forget whatever you have to say about Disney, Star Wars, the haters, the lovers, whatever. They have a plan, and things are written whether you get it or not. And there's so much little details. It's just Filoni, Favreau. All those guys, they're on it, and it's awesome. John, what'd you think first 2 episodes?
I thought they were okay. I think for me, I think they're building it to gonna be really good. But for me, after the Book of Boba, I'm a little scarred, so I'm trying to manage my expectations a little bit. And I don't know how I feel about the Leia, little Leia. I don't know how I feel about that.
Is there anything in particular that kind of annoys you, or is it just because you have too many kids at home and you're annoyed in general?
Probably, yeah, that's probably it. But
because you're chasing after too many. How old are your kids? The range
from 2 to 15.
Ah, dude, you're too tired. You're
yeah.
This is like your everyday. You're like. So here's the funniest thing that I saw, and everyone's like, "Oh, I'm so upset about, how couldn't those thugs catch Leia? She's gone, and she got away so easy." And I'm like, okay, I can literally. My son's only 19 months old. I can literally turn my head and look at something or check my phone, and comment for a couple seconds, and I look up, and he's like in the street, like gone. He's only 18 months, and I'm tired after work. And I'm like, oh damn, I'm sweaty and hot, and I'm trying to chase after him. Anyone who's making these comments either doesn't have kids or forgot what it's like to be around small kids, because you come back from work, you're tired, you're sweaty, you're hot. You don't want to chase kids. These thugs didn't want to chase kids. They're probably high on spice, and they're mercenaries, and they're hired to catch this princess, and they don't. So
she's a Jedi kid.
And she's a Jedi.
Anyone forget, even though she doesn't know she's a Jedi kid, she's a Jedi kid. They keep alluding to it when she's like calling you out on your emotions and shit like that. You're trying to say this is not an ordinary kid. This is a Jedi kid. Mm-hmm. I mean, so even if she doesn't know, she's going to be, feisty.
Yeah. And so, and part of that I thought was maybe, they're kind of striking out that personality that she has as an adult. Part of it was maybe the Jedi intuition. And I thought it was really interesting because with the trailer, you thought this was going to be all about Luke. Obviously, the show's called Obi-Wan, but it's all about Luke. And is Luke showing? Is Luke in danger? Holy crap, Leia's in danger. And holy crap, maybe Leia is showing some Force sensitivity or intuition or something. And so right from the beginning, they throw you through a loop, and it's totally unexpected. And she does her mom's thing where, I forgot, Bale's wife, Leia's mom, comes in and, hey, Leia, it's time to go. And it's a freaking decoy. Yeah. I love that. Come on.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, thumbs up or thumbs down for you? Obviously, as a huge Star Wars fan, what do you think?
I love it so far. I mean, right out the gate, I love the cinematography. I think it has more of that movie feel. I'm with John, the Book of Fett. I felt there was a disconnect. I felt like I was watching something put on a set. I didn't feel like I was in that environment a lot of the times. Here, everything seems like it is real life or some type of real setting. And personally, I think Ewan McGregor has got the chops as an actor to really carry a series like this. So I'm all on board. I'm with you too, Mike. I was waiting for the whole Luke angle, and all of a sudden I get Leia and I'm like, what? But I like what they're doing. Disney's got this formula, some silent kind of badass and some child. Put them together, put them in a scenario, boom, we're making money here, people.
Well, dude, let's just admit it. For anyone that has kids, you are automatically more interesting if you bring a young child with you, because they're going to say stupid things. They're going to do stupid things. They're going to be more interesting than you. You're an old, farty mom or dad, and the kids are just going to spice it up and do things that are unexpected. So if you don't have kids, you'll figure it out when you do. And that's, just the way it is. So Ewan McGregor, holy crap. Okay, hold on. We forgot to talk about the best freaking part. All right. Someone was definitely chopping some onions when they did that whole episode 1 through 3 recap, like the first 5 minutes. The music, the color tone, the cuts, just did anyone else get that like punch in the gut? Holy crap, we're in for a wild ride now.
Yeah, of course.
Definitely.
Dude, I'm sitting there, and so I usually, so my son's up at 5:30 in the morning, so I'll get up and I'm like watching with him while he's drinking milk and whatever. I'm like sitting there like starting to like well up in tear because all this stuff. But you know what? I don't think it was just the cuts and everything. Did you guys notice? I know, Kevin, you talked about the field. Okay, you're not on a set. This is like a real life thing. But for me, it was more about the auditory and the music. And all of a sudden, the minute the theme popped on and the music starts playing in the background, I'm like, holy crap, this is Star Wars. This is John Williams. Beautiful. You can tell that he's taken the theme of Star Wars and just tweaked it and pulled out those Obi-Wan Kenobi pieces. It's new, but it's the same at the same time.
Yeah.
Yep. Without a doubt.
God. Yeah, I agree. Yep. Sucked me right in. So between the music, the twist, dude, okay. I'm not going to go into the Riva controversy. And I feel like people, and this is just my opinion, but I feel like I see more people complaining about Riva than I've actually seen complaints. I personally haven't seen no complaints. And maybe that's because I live in a bubble. Maybe that's because I'm too busy. Maybe that's because I just hang out with cool guys like you guys. But
I liked the Riva. I thought she was cool as shit.
I like Riva too. Here's the one pet peeve I have about Riva, and it's not that I dislike the character, and it's okay. This is collectors enabled. We collect everything. You know, it's all IPs, all people, everybody. We love everybody, and I know there's all that stuff going on around the person, but I do have one
I don't know
complaint.
why. That was great.
What?
I said I don't know why. I thought she did a good job. Great.
I thought she did a great job.
Yeah.
My one complaint is that she is so damn pissed and she is so motivated. It's almost to the point where it's kind of annoying. I want to know why. What did Obi-Wan do to wrong you? You know,
that one of the Jedi younglings you saw in the first episode.
Yeah.
I know that, but Obi-Wan was not the only master. I mean, come on, Windu, Yoda, Anakin, you name it. There's a ton of Jedi masters in there. What did Obi-Wan do specifically? I want to know that because he wronged this. He wronged her.
Well, you'll see in episode 4.
Yeah.
Probably. Right, probably.
I have one theory on this, and I'm just going to put it out there so I can say I called my shot. But I think really what she's trying to do is she knows it was Anakin in the 501st that attacked the whole thing, and she knows he's Vader. So if she takes out Obi-Wan, his master, she gets direct access at Vader to pull off her revenge. That's where her anger is taking out Anakin, and this is her opportunity. But anyway, I'm going to try to call my shot here, and we'll see where it goes.
Okay. I like that idea quite a bit. That's a really good idea. And, I didn't know how many Imperials actually knew that Anakin was Darth Vader. Now, again, this is only a decade into the Empire. But even Grand Admiral Thrawn, at least in the books, it never explicitly said that Thrawn knew that Vader was Anakin. It was implied that he had figured it out, but I didn't think that a lowly third sister would actually know that. So that was kind of surprising to me. Here we go. Riva's meant to annoy you. She's the villain. She's new. Star Wars fans want new, but when they give it to them, well, that's true, right? Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot of fandom.
Show me on that Riva where.
That's pretty funny.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But dude, that scene at the end where Riva comes in and like they zoom in on Obi-Wan's face and they have the whole like Vader Luke Return of the Jedi thing going on, your sister, that whole thing, and you're just like right on Obi-Wan. You could feel this man's pain. Like, this is a man who has been in mourning for his best friend for a decade, who he killed allegedly, and totally cut himself off from the Force. And that's why I think, he probably hasn't used the Force in 10 years. So you don't use the Force, you can't, the dark side users can't detect you and blah, blah, blah. There's no disturbance in the Force. I get that. That's fine. But this man, his visceral, like, holy crap, Anakin's alive. Holy crap, Vader. This is that masked menace. And who knows if he even, Vader wasn't really like Captain America. Okay, like Captain America, you did all the rallies and all that stuff. Everyone knows who Captain America is. Did the everyday person actually know who Vader is? That's my question. What do we think? Like a decade into the Empire, or was he like the silent ninja?
I think they knew the Inquisitors more if you watch Rebels. The Inquisitors were probably a bigger presence. You never really see Vader.
Yeah,
until Rogue One.
The Grand Inquisitor goes up to the guy running, the subway. Do you know who I am? Oh, the Inquisitor. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they don't really see Vader. You really don't see Vader until Rebels, and then until Rogue One after that.
I guess, was Vader known to the everyday person?
Probably not. Or everyday person may not even know of the Sith,
That's a good point. That's a good point. No one knew that Palpatine, allegedly, most people in the Galactic Senate didn't really know that Palpatine was a Sith. I mean, they just knew that he was deformed and kind of weird, right? Maybe? I could be talking.
There's no more Jedi at this point, too, so...
Yeah, I don't know. Did anything else really stick out to you guys on the first 2 episodes? Anything that you're like, so good?
Wait, I got a question for you, for John and Kevin. What was it about Book of Boba Fett that y'all didn't like? Because I'm probably the worst fan, because you put it in front of me, I'm just like, oh my god, I like it. So what was it?
I'm the same way.
What was it that bothered you? I'm just curious. Because maybe I didn't see something.
Go ahead, Kevin.
I was about to throw it over to you too. I guess. I think I like Morrison as an actor. I've loved him since Jango Fett and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just felt like he, like I said, Ewan McGregor has the chops to really carry. He's a great actor. I don't think Morrison's at that same level. So it was like when he was struggling, you could see, okay, quick, let's get Mandalorian. Let's supporting cast. I thought the story overall, I didn't have a problem with the story overall, but I kept getting pulled out of it. Like I said, the cinematography, I'd be sitting there and I'm like, we're on a set here. We are really on a set. It doesn't feel like I'm in the deserts of Tatooine. I'm on a set. Now, it wasn't that the whole way, but those types of things pulled me out of that series a lot, more often than I was really like completely 100% bought in. Now, you threw in Mandalorian, I was like everybody else. I'm like, yes. And the Naboo fighter, I was like, man, I hated that ship, and now it's so badass.
Yeah. Me too.
So, and by the way, if you want to do one, you can send that out to Code of Chrome, and they can do that up for you perfectly.
Nice.
Yeah. John, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, same thing, but I mean, it seemed like the first 2 episodes or so were good, and then I just felt like it just bombed. I mean, we had that full episode on totally taking you out of it.
Yeah, the 2 episodes on
season 2.5.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, we've been clamoring for Boba for how long? Most of us grew up with him as being this icon.
Yes.
I just don't feel like they did him justice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, I want to post something in the group later. I was watching this video. It's just a short clip of an interview of Tamora Morrison at Celebration last week. And I have so much respect for this guy. And I've never really seen him like behind the scenes, but he's full of energy. He's a beautiful singer. His voice is amazing. He has so much love for the character. And he even was saying, he's like, I cut back on my beers because I saw some people calling me Boba Fett. And so I started training, and I knew I was going to be in the back to tank. So, I still drink some beer, but I went to the gym more often. I mean, the guy, he loves it. And just, I need to watch more behind the scenes of Tamora, because I think he's hilarious. And so it kind of gave me a different perspective. And I agree with John and Kevin. I feel like the direction was just a little, They didn't
So
give him.
I think I know why I don't see the things that you guys saw is because I am more entrenched in Clone Wars and Rebels, and
Sure,
there's
yeah.
really no Boba in it. There was Boba as a kid, but
Yeah.
there was really no adult Boba. So as a character, I'm not really invested in Boba that much, other than like that he was in episode 3 or something maybe. I don't really know that much, so that's probably why I never saw things that you guys see. Okay, that makes sense. That's cool.
I think it's like what Matt's saying. Like Boba wouldn't have been caught off guard as much. Even he was trying to make a more pacifist approach. It was the exact opposite of what we were expecting. So honestly, I think if they just left his helmet on, I don't know. Tamora Morrison, he's like, oh, they tried to make me ugly. It's really tough. You know, he's a hilarious guy. But I think if they just left his helmet on more and left a little bit more of that like mystery, kind of like Mando.
Yeah.
I mean, when did we see Mando's face? Like almost the end of season 1, maybe, and it was for a minute. Was that season 1 where they were doing with what's his name, where he dressed up as a transport trooper? Or was that season 2?
Oh,
I think it was season 2.
I think season 2. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
he's
my
beginning to believe.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
didn't see freaking Pedro Pascal hardly till second season, and even then, it's like 15% unmasked. And I think that the way that Mando, the cinematography of Mando, and the way the actors portray the masked characters, it just gives them so much more life. As opposed to having Tamora taking his thing on, off. And I know that was one of the bigger complaints, but I'm gonna go back and rewatch Book of Boba Fett. You know, just it's Star Wars, and it's like Payne was saying. Would you rather have no Star Wars, or maybe some Star Wars that you don't necessarily like or agree with, or you know? So
yeah.
Oh, he was maskless with IG-11. That's right, when they were doing the back to spray. That's right. That was like for 2 minutes of the entire first season. And yeah, Bill Burr in season 2. That's what I was thinking of. And of course, Grogu at the end. Yep, that's right. Dudes, I'm real excited to wake up at 5 in the morning and watch episode 3 of Obi-Wan tomorrow morning.
Oh, shit. Nice.
Is there anything else that you guys? Damn, John, I still want that Godzilla. I keep looking at it. Crap. That's
it's very easy to enable you, Mike.
I'm like you. Like I'm very easy to please. And, you know, give me something. I'm gonna watch it. I'm probably gonna love it. Everyone's like, you know, cheering for Maverick, Top Gun. I'm probably gonna think it's incredible. You know, if the layperson saying, you know, A+, I'm probably gonna be, you know, knock my socks off. And then John has this awesome Godzilla behind him, and it's like, that is really cool. And it's available at Sideshow, and I have Sideshow points. Oh man,
Get the big Godzilla. Get the big Godzilla statue.
Yeah, that's not going to be out for another like 48.
Okay,
Dude,
fair enough.
I can buy the bust. I can sell the bust to you or Warren.
Oh no, I don't like Godzilla.
So I can sell it to someone in 6 to 8 months from now and get some of my money back. And you know, but anywho, anything else you guys want to talk about before we kind of wrap up?
Payne wants you to bring up Justice Buster.
Lane, we're gonna talk about Justice Buster next time. This is a Star Wars, you know, with a little bit of mecha built in. Kenobi. Let's see. Show the panel the P1 Legolas. I need enabling. Okay.
Well, we enabled Lane tonight. Lane said he just bought Grievous Premium Format because we enabled.
Oh yeah, that's a beautiful one.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna do this, and then we're gonna call it a night here.
P1 Legolas. I don't think I know which one.
Yeah, let me pull it up. Hang on, here it comes.
Because I think I'm thinking of the Infinity Studio one.
Yeah, it's not the Infinity Studio. The Infinity Studio is the 1 to 2.
Half scale. Okay, that's the one I have in my head.
Yeah, that's one I have on pre-order. But damn, this looks pretty good. Okay, let me pull this up here. There you go. Bam. So,
that was pretty good.
Kevin, do you do any Lord of the Rings?
I watch the movies every year, all the time. That's about it.
Yes, I do that too. Yeah, yeah, at least once a year. What about? Okay, so personally, well, let's see, John. John, do you have this one coming in?
I don't. Not this one.
Okay. Is this?
No.
It's not.
It's not a bad sculpt.
No, it's not bad at all.
It's not bad.
No, Infinity is better.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
Infinity is also silicone and it's half scale.
Yeah,
This is quarter scale, right?
Yeah, but if you're gonna have one of these things in your representation, you just get the better looking one.
Yeah,
I
but
know.
sliding down on the shield, that kind of trumps everything, doesn't it?
I mean,
Yeah.
this scene is so freaking iconic. This
But
is
it
the Battle of
depends,
Helm's
too.
Deep, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it how far? Like, is he just wanting a Legolas of him, or is he trying to do all of some of them, or what's?
Okay, so Donald, that's a good question. Do you
It's
have
like the
one
Aragorn.
representation?
The Aragorn to me, I don't think turned out that good. The one sculpt looks okay.
So I watched a video right before it came on about some guy who got Aragorn in hand, just the regular, and he's like, dudes, this is another Heath Ledger Joker thing. Just get it in hand, and you'll like it.
I can see that.
Okay, cool.
I do like this dead orc with the arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I think, Donald. I think that if you just okay, here we go. He said he wants a Gimli or a Legolas, and maybe if you're gonna get the quarter scale Sauron,
You need to get it now.
Well, get it now because it's gonna sell out.
Sauron. Yep.
And that it's gonna go. It's gonna skyrocket. This is.
Yeah, if you want
This
Sauron,
is by
you better
far
get it
the
now.
best Sauron on the market, and the most impressive. And the price for almost a 4 foot tall quarter scale statue is not bad. Shipping wasn't that bad either.
Yeah.
And Josh has it.
Oh, he does?
Mm-hmm. He has
In stock?
Yep.
Oh,
You can pre-order it. It's
yeah.
not waitlisted. You can actually just straight up get it.
Yeah, I would just go to Josh and get it. Save on you save on tax on Prime One anyway. But now if you're gonna do the quarter scale line and you don't want to do the half scale, which is obviously quite a bit more it's probably twice as expensive as this, and it's twice as big. I like this a lot, actually. I'm gonna get the quarter scale Aragorn, because I love that scene of the men in the mountain, and I love the base. I think that is so beautiful. I actually like the print that I forget who does the print. We'll post it on the group, but it's the print of Aragorn in the shadow of the mountain, and it's incredible. I think this is great. How much is this thing? Oh, that's not bad.
Oh yeah. Do it.
Hold on a second. What's the shipping on this? Let's see. Let's find out. I'm just real curious. Oh, damn it. I'm on. Never mind. All right. Well, I'm not on Safari. Oh, just throw this out there. Anybody want a home invasion weapon?
Kevin can make one.
Actually,
Kevin can make one.
Yeah. Right. Well, this is the Tom Spina, the archive collection based off stuff from the archive with lineage, meaning it's from the direct source. There's a Mando version, Boba version, and a New Hope version. There's not too much information out on it yet, but he did have these on the celebration floor. I think I'm assuming. I think the New Hope one is like real metal, I think, but I'm sure Tom is going to talk about these. I'd love to have Tom on the show. I wonder if he would do that for us. Anyone want to get one of these? I think I need to get one.
It's definitely tempting, but I you guys are giving me the challenge. But I do know some guys at the shop. We're looking at it ourselves, and we happen to be able to work with aluminum, so we're kind of like, well, we're going to have a real spear at the end. Not that we're going to use it, but if you're going to do it right.
Yeah,
I agree. And
you can
if you're spend the money on it, do it right.
Yeah, and the circle thing at the end that's supposed to be pointy and stabby, you can definitely make that pointy and stabby.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, this thing's going to be like a shotgun above like my bed or something, and someone comes in just grabbing. You go Boba Fett style.
Yeah, going to be a Tusken Raider.
Yeah, dude. Anywho, all right, it is 11:30. I'm gonna call it quits here. Do you guys any final words or anything else that you guys want to talk about or mention?
Oh, shipping on that Legolas is $155. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's for economy, and then for air is $265, so $100, $90 more.
That's not bad. Yeah, it's like for the Urkai, or not the Urkai, the one of the Urkais that just came out. It's 200 for ship and like 260 for fast ship. So that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer for sure. Yeah.
Alerts. That's who's shipping
Alerts.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Donald, I say go for it, man. That's a beautiful. that's an awesome Legolas. You're not going to be, dude. Prime One very rarely screws up head sculpts or production pieces. Very rarely. And if you don't want it, I'll buy it from you. So how about that? So yeah, do that. But I'm not paying you more in retail. I'll pay you for shipping.
Oh my god, that's too funny.
It's backup guarantee. He's gonna love it. So okay, well, let's wrap it up here. So Kevin, dude, that was, at least for me, I was nerding out the first 60 minutes. One of the coolest shows that we've done. I learned so much. I'm always appreciative of your knowledge. Thank you for being a great guy to come on and kind of share this knowledge. And let's talk about that Optimus, and let's talk about C-3PO going forward. No rush. But I definitely, that's one project I really do want to do. And
we'll make it happen.
We'll line up all this stuff. Thanks, man. Payne, the Payne Hour. So what did we do for the Payne Hour? Donald bought that Legolas. Lane bought the Grievous, and
I enabled you to Megatron earlier today. So
yes,
did my job.
You did the Megatron before the show even started. So
yeah, exactly, did my job.
Yep. So we're good there. So the Hour of Payne from 10 to 11 is going to be, what can we get and what do we enable? And then John, my man, the master of Zen of collecting, always calm, cool, and collected, but collection's always growing. And I need to get that Godzilla. That thing is freaking sweet. John,
do
any
do you carry the Godzilla in your store? Because he's probably going to just buy it right now.
No.
Jerk.
This is a special one for me.
Okay. Well, you have access to most P1 pieces.
It's only been within the last few months that because I kind of wanted to stay 1/6 and kind of the smaller stuff, but as I've kind of evolved and kind of learned more about the stuff, I've started ordering stuff for the store. So
yes.
You have direct with them now with Prime One?
No,
okay.
Partly Sideshow, and then there's other distributors in the U.S. that distribute for Prime One. So,
yep, and John will always give you a fair deal.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, that was freaking awesome. Donald is pretty much sold. I agree. Hey,
do it, Donald. Do it.
Get the Aragorn and the Lurch as well. And so, anywho. Thank you guys so much. It was a blast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment. We literally read every single comment. I usually respond to every single one of them. Let me know what you're getting. Let me know if you're going to pursue some of this life-size stuff or props. Let me know if I should buy John's, well, not John's, but get that Godzilla. Dudes, I hope you have a great night and keep collecting. We'll see you soon.